Good morning, welcome to the Sewing Quarter. You've got me, Natasha McCarthy, for the next 4 hours, and I'm joined by the lovely Joy this hour. And the next hour, we've got a brand new guest for you who will often be found in today's Quilter, and which is fabulous because today's Quilter, it's our takeover day. Today's Quilter, obviously one of the fabulous magazines that our sister company produces for us, full of beautiful quilting inspirations, and that is what we have based today's shows around. So let's have a look at what we've got coming up today. So at 8 a.m, Joy is taking us through the fair square quilting. Oh yes. And then at 9 o'clock, we've got Carolyn Forster, brand new to us today, with her Spools Quilt and some of her books. And then 10 o'clock, we've got Creative Grids Masterclass. Joy's going to take us through all sorts of beautiful things then. Then at 11 o'clock, we've got quilting technique time, and again, that is with Carolyn Forster. So lots to come on today's Quilter Takeover Day. Yes. Now, of course, if we're going to bring you a takeover day from today's Quilter, and here's my copy, then it's only fair that we bring you a bit of a deal on it. So here's your deal for today. We're going to take the price down to $4.99 instead of $5.99. Taking £1 off for you so that you can get this home today and have a little bit of a read through, bit of inspiration. This is issue 22. Hey, look, you're even going to get a free pack of quilters clips as well. That's coming with it for free. So $4.99, and you can try today's Quilter. We're going to have a close look through this throughout the hours today, but it's absolutely exquisite. Some beautiful designs in there, and I'm looking forward to showing you all those. Now, if you watched yesterday, we had our Quilt-as-you-go. It's kind of a Quilt-as-you-go type weekend because we've got a different one for you today. Now, we've got it two ways. Well, three ways technically. First, you can get this design entirely by itself. You can just buy the wadding, and you can do that just by itself. But what we get asked for a lot is as a bundle. Please may I have it with all of the fabric that I need to make it. So we've put it with 4 meters of fabric in the amounts that's specified here for you. So 1.5 meters of your backing fabric, and then all of your other meterage that you need there. So, and this is, well, it's a mixture. You've got Tanya Whelan in there, you've got spot on, you've got all sorts. But your Tanya Whelan, oh, let me show you this one, because this is absolutely beautiful. There you go, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now that's just asking for a spot of fussy cutting. We'll see that in a minute. So you get 1.5 meters of this backing fabric. That's Tanya Whelan, that's your crisscross from Tanya Whelan. You get 1 meter of the spot on in kiwi, in that lovely, lovely green, fresh green, and then 0.5 meter of all the other fabrics for you. So there's lots of variety. You can then decide how you want to put your quilt together. So really rather lovely. Now, that is this, well, Joy's used a mix and match of all of the fabrics that we've got for you today. So we'll show you different elements of each, which is really lovely to be able to see. So let me show you the other option that we have for you. So this one here, you've got some blues and yellows in here. So you've got this gorgeous Tanya Whelan again. Look at that. Isn't that good? That's going to make a beautiful central piece. But then you see we've matched it with, you've got your spot on there, but then look, you see it goes with the ticking. So you've got your beautiful ticking there, another spot on, and then again that Tanya Whelan crisscross in blue this time to match your ticking, all coming to you today for $57.95. Now you get all of your Quilters-as-you-go as well in that, all good. So all of your material, that is basically grab that and get quilting. Now, the other thing to bear in mind is when you get this, your pack, whatever, whether you're using your own material, whether you're buying one of our bundles today, it is just worth popping in your basket your best press spray. We've got 3 of these for you. We've only got the lavender left. The other, oh really? Should I get rid of those? Okay. We'll see if we can get the others up on the show for you. But we've got a few of these left. A lot of these went yesterday. So if you want them, please grab them. We're into single figures of these. $4.95 YGEQ50. So if you've not used it before, you do need a starch spray on there, but there's only a handful left, so please just grab that if you need it. Right, okay, now, the other thing is, you can grab today's deals as in complete bundles, or you can just get the wadding and do your own fabric. It's entirely up to you. So let's give you the details. Here we go. This is your fair square quilt as you go polyester batting series. It's $8.95 by itself if you want to grab it just on its own. So that's without the fabric. That's just that on its own. And then you would add your own fabric. But we've done for you today is we've added in 4 meters of fabric for you in the right proportion so that when you get this, you're good to go. So you don't have to then wait for it to arrive and then work out what fabrics you need. It's all coming in one great big bundle for you. So lots of different ways to get this today. Now, the lady that has done this quilt for us today is the lovely Joy Edgington. Hello! How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you very much. It's lovely to have you back.
Twice in 1 week, can we cope?
What a treat. Well, I don't know if it's we can cope, it's can the viewers cope. Now,
Yes.
Joy, this is what you've made for us.
I have.
Look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? Do you know what? I'm a big fan of Tanya Whelan fabrics. I just think they are beautiful.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful. And I've been waiting for a project that just really gives you that focal point of the beautiful roses.
Yeah, and showcased it.
And it does. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now this is, why is it called a fair square quilt?
Well, it's like everything. A lot of these blocks get their names from traditions. This is actually a traditional Amish quilt.
Okay.
Quilt block.
They're big quilters, the Amish, aren't they?
Yeah, big quilts. And, you know, it's sort of the big, bold sort of squares and rectangles all come together. And, of course, in today's parlance, we still use the phrase fair and square to mean, you know, honest and integrity and stuff like that.
Of course we do.
Yeah.
Hadn't even occurred to me. You know, when you're not quite sure where things come from, but they're part. A lot of it comes from Shakespeare. We don't even realise.
Yes.
But actually, fair and square.
Yeah, yeah. So open and honest and all the rest of it. So
An open and honest quilt for you
Yes.
this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, you've used, well, a variety of the fabrics that we've got.
I'm so naughty. I always muddle things up, and it's nice to showcase.
Do you know what? It's not that, is it?
Yeah.
And you came up with a very good point. You said the fabrics all work so well together, so it really absolutely doesn't matter in any way, shape, or form. And you said that a lot of times people buy, sort of, if you've got twins or something in your family, or 2 grandchildren, you'd make for both. So then you can mix and match.
Yeah.
So today's bundles, they do intermingle beautifully.
Yes. If you want to buy both bundles and muddle them up like I do, then go for it.
You're then getting 8 meters of fabric.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Gorgeous.
Okay.
Gorgeous. Right, where do we start?
Well, good question. I think we need to start with the instructions.
Where's your highlighter?
It's
highlighted.
It's already highlighted. We're already there.
Now, what I love about Joy, each of our guests has their own little intricacies.
Yes.
And yours is your highlighter pen.
Absolutely.
You can't start anything until you've read those instructions and highlighted and you know exactly what you're doing.
Yes. I don't like surprises further down the line because it all goes horribly wrong then.
No surprises.
No surprises.
Take that out of it. No. Okay.
So, when you get the pack, the first thing you do, you've got this this sort of cover sheet on here, which gives you the basic information about the size it's going to make, which is 24 by 36.
Yes.
And it gives you the fabric requirements over here, shows you the layout, but it also shows you some alternative layouts.
We have 3 different options. Now, what we had yesterday happening with the Quilt-as-you-go was lots of multi-buyers, and I think because this is kind of, I like to think of Quilt-as-you-go as a modular system.
Oh, that's a posh phrase.
I know.
Wow. Dictionary?
It's nearly 10 past 8,
Oh, okay, then.
and I've broken out the modular system already.
Yes.
But in terms of, you could get this Quilt-as-you-go, and you could have one that we bought to you yesterday, and you could put them together.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, the quilt is as big as you decide to make it, so you could get 2 of these and just keep adding. You just keep adding. It's done block by block, quilted, the hints in the name, as you go, and just keep adding the blocks. So you could buy 3, make a whopping great big one, and try all 3 different styles.
You could. You could.
There's nothing to stop you from doing that.
Nope, nope, they're all the same size blocks, so they all mix and match together. So go for it, I say.
Well, I was thinking yesterday, you know, in an ideal world, I'd get all different varieties because we've brought so many, and then just do. Could you imagine doing a great big quilt with all different
Sampler quilt.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it's called?
A sampler quilt. We're using all different
Got a
blocks.
name.
Yeah, it's got a name
Okay,
now. It's an official name. Yeah, so we've got this on here, and then inside we've got the full set of instructions, two sides.
Now, I'm so glad that you've done this. Because I said yesterday, do you know what I would do? I would photocopy it and colour it in.
Really?
So, yeah, so that I got an idea of where I wanted different colours to be.
Yes.
I'd crack out my pencils and I'd be colouring it in.
That's
but you've
exactly
done
what
it.
I've done.
Yes.
Exactly what I've done.
Yes.
Yeah. Because not only that, when you come to do your cutting out, and it's saying, you know, cut out fabric A or fabric B, then you've got a visual reminder
I'm a visual learner.
Of which ones,
Very much
which
visual
ones
learner.
are which.
Yeah.
Also comes, you can also watch a video if you need extra help beyond the instructions, so that's good as well.
Or you can watch this back on YouTube.
Absolutely. Well, if they're that desperate to watch us back.
Once is never enough, Joy.
No, that's
never
true.
enough.
That's true. Okay. So, so then you've got your requirements down here. Now, this is the requirements for the 6 block, which is the pack that you get with 6 blocks in. So that tells you what to do.
Now, if you're buying one of our put-together bundles, then you don't have to worry about this because we've given you the fabrics.
Yes, it's
all
there.
in there.
It's
you know,
all
you've
there.
got your metre and a half of your backing fabric, you've got your metre for your and your half a metres for the others.
Yeah.
So that's all taken care of. That, to me, is take special attention of that if you're buying it as just the wadding.
Yeah, because you'll need to make sure you get the right amounts
Yes.
and sort them out. So then I like to go through the instructions and sort of chunk it out a bit to see what's coming up. So we've got cutting instructions. Now the cutting instructions are per block.
Right.
Okay. So you need to do this 6 times in effect for the whole pack. Then I've noted down here that there's going to be a bit of pre-piecing. So sometimes we have to join a couple of pieces together before we can add it into the block.
Yes, we had that as a situation yesterday. We had to make a few flying geese.
Oh, we're not doing flying geese today. Much more simple today. It is Sunday. It's going to be much more simple today. Then it goes on and tells you how to actually assemble the quilt block and piece it all together.
So we've got full instructions here.
And on the back,
pictures instructions.
Yeah.
Nice.
On the back, it's how to join the blocks together with lots of diagrams, and we'll come back to that.
This is what makes Quilt-as-you-go so different, isn't it? We were saying yesterday that actually a lot of people get into patchwork because they love popping different colours together and the arrangement and the joy of the patchwork.
Yes.
But then the actual quilting, once you've got a great big quilt, the actual quilting of that can be quite daunting.
Absolutely.
But what is happening with your Quilt-as-you-go, if I can just show you here, is that for each of these blocks, you make these individually, and as you stitch it on, you're stitching the patchwork to the wadding onto your backing. So you are literally quilting as you go. You never get to that situation where you've got a whopping great big quilt and you've got to try and stuff it all through your machine. There you go, it's all quilted, that's it.
Yeah, makes it much more achievable for people.
Before we go any further, the magic that is producer Paul has managed to find more best press spray.
Oh, it's so clever.
Maybe he's sitting them with the box under his desk. I don't know.
Could be.
He's found some. I don't know where he found them. Don't know, he's found them.
It's probably best not to ask, isn't it?
Sometimes it's best, I would agree.
So have we got all 3 flavours now?
Just probably got all 3 flavours. Oh, even better. Yes, we have. Here we go.
Oh, right.
So this is your linen. $4.95. This has got a lovely fresh aroma with your linen. RDEQ08. I must just say, these are in the instructions with your Quilt-as-you-go. You do get the best results if you use it with a starch spray. Now, this is your lavender. If you love lavender, I do. I love lavender.
Nice and calming as well.
I've got bags of lavender in my airing cupboard and all over the place. Love it. $4.95. This is absolutely beautiful. YGEQ50. And then the last one has no scent. So if you're someone like my mum who doesn't like air fresheners or anything like that, then this is the one for you, scent-free. So There we go. That's 495 NDEQ 38. 495.
Brilliant.
Hurrah! Well done,
Brilliant.
producer Paul. He's on fire this morning.
He certainly is. He certainly is.
He is.
He's got his go faster stripes on, that's what it is.
It's his new trainers.
Could be, could be.
That's what it is. Yeah. Brand new sparkly white trainers, making him go faster. Right. So we've looked at the instructions, we've coloured, we've done everything that we need to do. We're super organised.
We're ready. We're ready to go.
I like to feel that I'm organised by association.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I get
I'm
people,
going with that.
I do get people say, will you come home with me and organise my sewing room or whatever?
I might have said that.
You might have said that as well.
Well, I mean, not just my sewing room, really, just generally my house in general.
There are limits to my capabilities, I have to say.
All right. She's not even been to my house, she already knows. Beyond her. Right.
So when you get it, you get your wadding with the pre-printed design already on it. And the first thing you need to do, it comes as a big sheet and you need to cut them apart so you can work on them individually.
Which gives you an inch round the edge.
Yeah, it tells you on there, cut an inch all the way around the edge of the block.
Yes,
okay.
Perfect.
So we've got that. Then we're going to need to get this onto our backing, first of all.
Yes.
And we're going to lightly press.
Right.
And I stress the word lightly. Yes.
This is one of the rare times, because this has a fusible backing on it. This is one of the rare times that you need steam to help that to adhere. Normally, if you're using a heat and bond or something like that, we say, no, just press, don't use your steam. Use your steam, because you don't want to be ironing onto this, because it's polyester and you'll end up with like a cardboard if you go too heavy-handed.
Definitely.
So just go nice and gently.
Nice and gently.
Yeah.
Nice and gently, a bit of hot steam. Again, tells you in the paperwork.
So use your steam and pop the backing on. Now, for the first time ever, we've put this in a bundle with the fabric, because this is the feedback that we get. Love, love, love Quilt-as-you-go. We know it sells out in like 15 minutes every time we bring it individually to wear, but because Quilt-as-you-go could be considered for some a great starter way to get into quilting, there are lots of you that actually would like the hard work taken out of it and would like the right amount of fabrics, beautifully selected, put together and sent out all in one go.
Yeah.
So we've done it.
Absolutely.
We've absolutely done it.
And this is ideal as a cut size as well.
Oh, perfect.
So it's good to have in your stash for when somebody suddenly announces.
And they do.
And they do.
And then you get a rush on.
Yes.
And then everyone's pregnant before you know. So we've got two different versions for you. This is the second version. So this is limited stock already. Only 6 of these left. 57.90. Oh, busy. 57.95. Oh, no, okay, no, now, if everyone checks out, we've only got 3 left, gosh. 57.95, SVGC42. Fresh, beautiful colours there.
Yeah, really nice.
Timeless.
Really
Tanya
nice.
William, of course, she writes for so many different magazines. If you sort of see Homes and Gardens, things like that, you'll often see her kind of fabrics draped beautifully in lovely houses.
Yeah.
That obviously don't need your tidying up skills, because it's already been done.
Somebody's already done it.
Absolutely. Now, here we go.
Okay.
So, this is your backing fabric. We've given you 1.5 meters of your backing fabric, and that's your crisscross fabric.
Okay. What I thought I'd do just today is to show people, because very often I get asked, well, this is all very well, but we've now got to cut a big square of backing, and it's actually a 17-inch square of backing that we need to cut.
Right.
And it's one of those things where, you know, people sort of get these big pieces of fabric out, like, where do I start? I'm not going to waft it everywhere like some people do. I'm just going to place it nicely on the cutting mat.
We all have a good waft.
Okay.
Kay in East Sussex says, morning, girls.
Good morning.
Coffee, check. Snacks, check. Oh, she's a girl after her own heart.
We like it.
Bring it on. Today's quilter fun times. Kay, we're so with you. Joy's already had her first breakfast, haven't you, this morning?
I have.
I love that you have double breakfasts.
Well, at least 2. At least 2. 3 if I can get away with it. I do slow down later in the day, apparently, but...
I don't know. I did say to you, Joy, you're always eating. You say you only see me at mealtimes. Like, every time is a mealtime. I salute that. So yes, Kay, welcome. Join us. Thank you ever so much for your message. It's lovely to hear from you. So we've got to cut a 17-inch square
Out of this.
Okay.
Now, we've got a nice long ruler here.
Oh, you got two.
I've got two.
Get you.
I know, and I've got a square one as well.
And a swivelly mat. Gosh,
I've
you've
got
asked
it all.
for the lot, haven't you?
Yeah, you
So
know,
demanding of Joy.
I am. I like it all there. So this one goes up to 24 inches.
Okay, this is doable.
So that's great because we want a 17-inch square. So I can put that on my straight edge there, and I know that that's 17 inches.
Yes.
But I've only got a little bit of cutting room here.
Right.
And I don't know how far down to cut for my 17 inches, so it all gets a bit unnecessary. So I'm going to utilise the equipment I've got, because I'm just making myself a bit of space. Depending on the size that you're cutting, if I was cutting, say, a 12-inch square, then I would use my square ruler, because what I can do is I've got 6 inches here, and if I line this up on my 6-inch line down the edge here and pop them together, I can now cut a 12-inch strip.
Oh, look at that. Okay, good.
Okay,
right.
Now I can't do that today because I need 17 inches, and I'm a bit challenged on the sizes today because I've only got 9.5 inches there and 6 inches there.
Oh, just half an inch? No, an inch and a half off.
Yeah, so it's not quite big enough.
Ah,
but all is not lost.
Okay.
Because...
Oh, look, you've cracked out another big one.
Yes.
Look at that. Okay, whoa.
So now... Okay, now this is where we have to do some maths, and it is difficult on a Sunday morning. I've already tried it once and got it wrong, so we'll do it together, shall we? So 17 inches I want to cut.
Yes, okay.
I've got 6 inches here.
Yep, so you need 11 on the other.
Correct. That was what I got to, I was just double checking. So now if I line this up on my 11-inch line, pop this onto here, and then I can cut up. I've got my 17 inches, and then I just reverse it the other way. I've got my 17-inch square.
Okay. Otherwise, get your fabric marker out and
start drawing. And
all that. So yeah, there we go. That's how we can do these. This is all good. Now, you'll see 2 ways to get this on your screen. That way is your Turn Your Wheel and Garden Ticking Fair Square Quilting Bundle, $57.95. And then down the bottom here, if you just want the batting, maybe you've already got a fabric stash you're going to crack into, that's absolutely fine. But if you want this beautiful tones of pink and blue and yellow, it's fresh, it's beautiful, it's a timeless one. This is the most popular one today, although we've only got 3 left of the other. $57.95 is that one. Oh, this is your other one with those, this is zesty. Zesty. That's how I'm going to describe that, with your lemons and your limes and your kiwis and your
whatever. Yeah.
How many of those have we got left now? If everybody checks out, only 2 left.
Wow.
Had a bit of a rush on.
I'm not surprised.
Well, yeah, no, today is all about the quilting. So
I only bring good things.
You insist upon it. You're a lady of standards.
I am.
So well done for everyone getting up nice and early. Good on you.
The birds were up very early this morning. Even earlier than me.
It's bank holiday, isn't it? Everybody's having late nights and fun. I discovered last night as I was trying to get to sleep, and someone in our road had very loud party music.
Oh, great.
And my husband said, "We are officially old."
Oh dear.
As I was whinging about it, going, well, really? I mean, it's 10:30 and the music's still going. Really, what is going on?
They're only just started at 10:30.
I know, that's why I look so tired. They went on for hours. Right, where do we start?
Okay, so coming back to our instruction, we need to do some cutting out. So I've got some pieces here cut out. Not difficult, some squares, some rectangles, and some squares we cut in half to make triangles. So that's nice and easy to do.
Okay, I can do that.
But what I wanted to do was I wanted to make use of these fabrics, so doing a bit of fussy cutting.
It's what it's screaming out for.
Absolutely.
Beautiful, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
And that's what I've done. Now this one, this is an interesting one. Stripes and checks are always interesting to deal with because you have to think about how they're going to work when they're cut up. You can't just sort of chop them willy-nilly because they sort of suddenly start looking a bit pants if they're not straight. Is that an official? I'm allowed to say that official term. Well, I've said it now,
yeah,
so
why not?
I'll apologise later.
Do you know, actually, on our system here, we do have a whole chart of words that are not appropriate for
one
air.
of them?
I don't know. I'll check. I added a few.
I'm sure Paul will tell us in a minute.
Probably, yeah. As the channel cuts to black and we're removed. Right, so you have to think about how you're going to cut these.
Now, with this one, the easy way to do it, of course, is just to pop it on and sort of line it up and cut it nice and square. But when we come to look at the actual block, if I just grab the next one along, if you put it in, if you cut it as a square and then you pop it in, because this is on point, your lines are in a funny place.
Right. So, what's
so
the
what
answer?
I've done is
I know you're going to have an answer.
some fussy cutting so that my stripes go up and down.
Nice.
Now, to do that, you need to get yourself a nice strip of fabric to start with. And these I cut, if I just show you on here, I cut out 4 3/4 of an inch. Okay. Now that's easy to do from a straight strip.
And these instructions are all in they come with it. What we're showing you is then how to use this fabric we've put with it.
If you want to do some fussy cutting,
how to get the most out of your fabric.
Yeah.
And this is where it sort of takes it to the next level, isn't it?
Yes.
Because you could, I mean, if you're just buying it just by itself down there, you could just buy plain fabrics and not have to worry about any of this. Bish, bash, bosh, just do it. But there is something so gorgeous about these fabrics that actually it's worth. And we don't always look at actually how to cut these fabrics to get the most out of them.
And if you're a beginner, then you just cut them and it works.
Yes.
But if you've got a bit more experience and you want to have a play, then this is the way to do it.
Hey, good.
So, so I'm going to cut this so that the stripes are on the diagonal. So I've got my strip, and all you need to do is just make sure that your point is on the top, that your 45-degree line is nice and lined up. I try and line it up on one of the stripes or down the middle of the roses, whichever we're going to go. Let's go for the middle of the roses, because I like the middle of the roses on there. And all you've got to do is just make sure that your 4 3/4 inches is well covered.
Okay, yes.
Okay, and then what we're going to do, this might not be a 4 3/4 inch one, I don't know, I might have cut it differently. So I've got that first cut done.
Yes.
And now I need to come down to this one.
Right.
So this is where I would go for my trusty
Oh, I love the swivelly mats.
swivelly mats.
We all love the swivelly mats.
Yep. So have we got it the right way round? Yes, that's good.
This is now becoming a bit of a piece of kit that gets asked for when we bring you quilting, because it's just, look at this, swivel.
Swivel round, and then you're back in the right place.
So you don't have to do that awkward cutting. We know that with rotary cutters, and we know that our guests are all very hot on safety when you use, and you in particular, very, very hot on your safety when you're using your rotary cutter. So it's one of those things that we go, okay, if you're going to have to be super hot on how to use your rotary cutter, then actually this is a great way, because it means you're only cutting away. Now, it has been incredibly popular. We've only got 8 left. So if you, like Joy, quite frankly, need this in your life,
definitely.
Grab it now, $32.95. But it's just a really handy little thing to have. And if you're like Kay, who sat there with coffee and her snacks, I like to think of this as a lazy Susan, where you can put your snacks on, just spin it round.
And cut it at the same time.
Oh, not and cut at the same time. No, just if you're not cutting, if you're doing something else.
And turned it round, there could be a little sweet or something.
Yeah. A little treat.
A little treat.
Yes.
So this one we're going to get a 4-inch square out of, as it happens from this strip. So I've lined up my 4-inch lines on here. Now I can go in and cut these.
There you go. Oh, Deborah in Greater Manchester says, morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Loving the show so far.
It could all go horribly wrong, do you think? No.
Got my bottled water, and I'm here till noon. Ooh,
wow.
That's like the healthy option.
That's a good Sunday
I've had a great
morning.
big thermos of coffee.
Where's breakfast?
Husband had been banished to the kitchen. Hope he's making, and then it finishes.
Breakfast.
What's he making?
Breakfast.
Yeah, but what breakfast?
I don't know.
need to know.
Do you think it's bacon and egg?
Oh, I hope so. Really hope
Do you think
so.
we're going to get an invite?
That's not on the list of your breakfast options this morning, is it? It's
No.
toast and porridge for you this morning.
Toast and porridge when I'm here. So now that just shows how we can
Perfect.
cut it out. So, and that's worth thinking about doing. You know, if you just want to take it up to that.
Well, that's
little
the
bit
thing, isn't it?
further.
And with, because if you, depending on which kit you'll get this.
Yes.
And this for me is all about having that central rose.
Yeah.
Now this one is in. This one is in the one that we've only got 2 left of. Have we got, producer Paul? Could we do a quick stock check on how many of these we've got left? Because we had 2 left a minute ago. Have we still got? Let's just check. So if you're after this particular fabric, I'll go and have a look over in the fabric in a minute. But this one comes with the kit that is just going to flash up on your screen.
The zesty one.
The zesty. It is zesty
one.
and fresh.
Yes.
Yes.
So when you want to fussy cut one of these, then you need to find the size of the square that you're cutting, find the centre point, and just line that up in the middle of your image, and then you can miss it.
We've got 1 left of this. If everybody checks out the basket, here's the thing. It's only yours when that basket has been checked out. But the good news is that you can continue to check out through a day. We're only going to charge you 1 P&P. Hurrah! That gets applied at midnight. It's a very clever way of doing it. I like this.
It is good.
Buy as much as you want during the day. Check out your baskets. If something's going fast, check out, get it. That's the only way you're going to make sure you've actually got it, is once you've checked out. But you can come back and buy as many times as you like. Only 1 P&P. Some places will charge you 1 P&P every time you check out. Yeah. We don't. I'm going to come back to you in a minute because now I've started talking fabric.
You better go and
I want to talk more.
Yes, off you go.
Ba, ba, ba. Right, okay, so this one first. Which one? This one. Oh, this one. Okay. I'm going to put that down there because I keep having to reach over it. We know that we get batting. We get 1 of those in each of the kits. But now I can actually have a look at this fabric. So this one is really beautiful. So this is your backing fabric. This is your Tanya Whelan. You're getting 1.5 meters of this one. So that's your backing fabric. So it's, your quilt's going to look gorgeous on the back as well as the front. And then you get 1 meter of your pink. So this is going to do all of the strips around it. So the uppy downy bits. And then these gorgeous ones are going to be your pattern actually in the blocks. So that's how the mix is working. Ever so pretty. You've got your pinks, your blues, your yellows, fresh, summery, gorgeous. And fussy cut those roses. We've just shown you how to cut that fabric, so you are good to go. So that one, $57.95. If you are someone that just wants to get everything, so you don't even have to think, it all arrives, add thread, off you go, then we've got that option for you. The other option, again, 4 meters of fabric going on here. Oh, look, there's my best press. I'll talk about that in a minute. 1 of these left if everybody checks out the baskets. So if you're after zesty fresh, go for this one. This one is your, this is, again, Tanya Whelan backing. Tanya Whelan, a very prolific designer. You will see her designs in all the magazines, really beautiful. You know, all the nice sort of homes and garden-y type magazines, she's often in there. It's that timeless classic that she gives us, like this. She also does a lot of paper crafting as well. You'll see a lot of paper crafting sets with these motifs on. So it's one that you recognise. You might not know where you've seen it, but you've seen it. And so it's one that we absolutely love. Then you see you've got your yellow polka dot there, and then this, a little bit different here. Look at the flowers in there. Very delicate and pretty. Lovely. And then you've got your kiwi spot. So if you're after zesty fresh, grab that one, but you're going to have to be quick because there's only 1 left. So SVGC42, that's for this one. Now, if you want just this by itself, just that, Half the stock has gone already on this. Well, it's lasted longer than normal. $8.95 there. JBEQ 79. We did bring a lot of these there. We are learning. We know how popular it is. So if you want to grab this, lots of you multi-buying, because look, 3 different designs that you can do. Like I say, I like to think of this as a modular kind of system. So this will make a cot quilt size, but if you want to make it bigger, you just buy extras and just add them on. Magic. Now, today is all about today's Quilter. Now, you can get the magazine for $4.99. Let's have a look. And look, so we've taken £1 off the price for you because we can, because we're nice like that, and it's Sunday. But we only have a limited stock of that. So there we go. You're also getting your binding clips. How useful.
Really good.
Very useful.
Really good. Really
You're
good.
in it. You're page 55.
I am. That's just stopped them all buying the magazine now.
But you didn't know, did you? No. You had it sat on your desk for 10 days before you actually realised you were in it.
I did. I'd flicked through, had a little look through.
You looked at the projects, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I didn't look at anything else. And then I was in class one day and one of my ladies said, saw you in the magazine. I'm like, what magazine?
What? Where am I?
So then I had to rush home and read it
take
properly.
a proper look. Yes. Okay, so you've shown us how to cut our ticking.
Yeah, we've done our fussy cutting. We've got all our pieces cut, and then
and we've best pressed them.
Yes, it really is quite important to use the starch. It really makes it much more manageable because we're not pressing this as we go at all.
No, because again, you are going straight onto this polyester. You don't iron straight onto polyester anyway. No. So just be really careful. Hence the requirement for best press. It's in the instructions. Your starch spray. Each one of these is $4.95. Once we've put the details onto the screen, it goes straight onto the website underneath where you can view the website live. So it's there like a quick shopping list. You can just pick which, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You can pick which one you want. $4.95 each of those.
Excellent. And what it does, it tells you to sort of double starch it, which means you sort of spray it and press it a couple of times.
Spray iron, spray iron.
Something like that.
Yes.
I'll say that again.
Spray iron, spray iron.
Spray iron, spray iron. Yeah, okay,
yes.
Fine. What it does, it makes it easier to handle and it makes it really easy just to finger press and get nice sharp seams. So I've made a start on this one. Basically, all you need to do is you'll see that your pieces come out up to the line that's drawn on here. Now, this isn't a stitching line. Anybody used to doing things like foundation piecing will be wanting to stitch on the line. It's not a stitching line, it's a placement line.
It's a guideline, isn't it?
It is, for where your pieces should go.
We did foundation piecing in the week. For anyone that was watching, then you'll have seen that. So and we said then, when you start to foundation piece, it's a little head shift of, okay, it's not as I would normally, so just have a little, and again, this is the same. Have a little shift in your head. You're not sewing on the line, you're using that as your guideline. Yeah,
as a placement line. Now, sometimes you'll find that your pieces come a little bit short, and that's because of the puffiness of the wadding. So by using the pins, you can really ease this out up to the line, pop a pin in. You don't need to pin all the way through. You can just go into the wadding. It's just to hold that in place. And then we're going to stitch our normal 1/4 inch seam line.
And now, Joy, we've had a quick question from Wendy in Essex. Good morning, Wendy. She says, bought my quilt-as-you-go. Yes.
Good.
Is rotary cutting mat imperial or metric? She says, great show, girls.
I use imperial.
But is the mat?
The rotary one. The rotary one is metric.
Oh, okay. But you see, what I like about it is that you've got all of the degrees. You see, I'd be using the degrees more than the...
I don't use the lines at all.
Don't you?
No. I'm very rare I use the lines on any of my cutting mats. I go all from the ruler.
Oh, do
because
you?
I'm just using one instrument then to calibrate all my measurements.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I just ignore these and I just go.
You just use it for the spinny wonderfulness that it is. I'm a metric girl, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and while we're just on this one, it does come apart, so I don't think you've broken it.
I did that, and I did think I'd broken it. And then I realised that actually it is 2 mats, sort of, isn't it?
Is.
That's your bottom mat. That grips onto anything. It's got great grip, actually, isn't it?
As long as you've got the right way round.
Oh, yeah, otherwise it grips.
Because it will go together like that, but if it's sliding all over the place, it just means you've got it the wrong way round.
Awesome.
Job done.
There you go, Wendy. I hope that answered that for you.
Yes.
Details down the bottom of the screen, $32.95 for your rotating mat, and we love it.
We do. So I'll just stitch this one down, just to show how it works.
Now, we're using just a normal foot. Yesterday we used a walking foot. Today we're just using a normal foot. Yeah. What I would say to you is, don't worry. You know, often it's like, oh, I don't have a walking foot. I don't want to spend the 30, 40, 50 pounds to get one. Does that mean I can't do this? No,
it doesn't mean that at all. You can use your normal foot on here because we're just doing very short pieces and it's all fused together, so it's holding nicely. It's okay. You can use your 1/4 inch foot. What I found though, if you've got a 1/4 inch foot with a guide at the side, the guide can sometimes get caught up in the actual wadding. Okay. So it depends what kind of a 1/4 inch foot you've got. And then we're just going to, now when we start off, we just find my reverse button on this one. We're just going to reverse back a couple of stitches. And then we're going to stitch all the way down. And then when I get to the end, I'm just going to reverse back again.
Did you know? I didn't know until the other day. On this machine, stitch number 3 and 4 do that for you. Stitch number 3 reverses. Stitch number 4 does a triple holding stitch. I didn't know.
You see, isn't it? We never use our machines to the best of their ability,
Someone's done it for you, and there's us pressing the button to reverse backwards and forwards. Mine at home doesn't have that, and I'm a bit envious.
It's just habit, isn't it?
I know.
You get used to what your machine does.
I just thought that was a clever little thing.
I think it's a wonderful. Yeah. Now look, we've got some pretty scissors today.
Oh, the rose gold. They should come. I keep saying we should bundle these as a pair.
I think pretty right.
Yeah. So little snips, obviously, for your threads, really handy to have.
I'm just going to I like to take the ends off as soon as I've finished stitching, because then they don't get caught up in the next line of stitching, and I don't have to spend hours trying to.
This is all part of the.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no, sorry, Joy. The bin is under there, but look, you see again. I had such a tickly coffee. I've got my throat sweets down there, a little drink, and then behind there is
it's like
the
a
bin.
pharmacist behind.
I know. I know.
So now, if I just take my pins out, I can fold this over. Crease it down, and then
look, it's perfect.
And then it's back up to the line.
Nice.
Having done that, we go to the opposite. You can follow the numbers.
Absolutely, and
follow the numbers.
Quilting by numbers is how I like to think of this. Now, somebody asked yesterday, how do you get that on there? What pen have we used? We didn't use any pen. It came printed.
It's already
That's the joy
done.
Of it.
Absolutely.
That is the joy of Quilt-as-you-go.
Yep. It's already done. So then we do that and we carry on.
Now, the bundle that we put together for you involves this beautiful fabric. This one. You pop that one in that we've got in the other bundle. But it's absolutely beautiful. So let me show you the bundle. This is the fabric that you're getting in this bundle that we've got on the screen there. There we go. So you've got the beautiful blue ticking in this one. Lovely. And you've got that gorgeous yellow rose. That's the Lola rose. $57.95. Basically, we've put all of that together in the right proportions of fabric for you, and you get your Quilt-as-you-go. Everything you need ready to go. Now, the other bundle that we've got, have we actually got any of this left now? Is there still one hanging on? Oh, we're having a look. We've got to bring all the details up to them, find out how much we've got left. But this one's been very popular this morning. $57.95 again. SVGC 42. If everybody checks out, there's one hanging on in there.
It's waiting for the right person
that wants that zesty freshness in their life.
It's waiting there. It's just hanging on till the right person decides to take it home. They're quite, particular, these fabric bundles. They won't go home with just anybody, They have to go to the right home.
They do, absolutely. Less than half the stock as well now left of the actual just the wadding. The Quilt-as-you-go wadding, $8.95 for that. JBEQ 79, $8.95 for just that. We do have that for you if you just want that, and then you use your own fabrics.
It's a good job we brought double quantity, isn't it?
I know.
Else would have been sold out.
I know.
It's good. It's good.
Yes.
Now, sometimes you have to join some of your pieces before you can add them onto your block.
Now, I asked about this. I was like, well, why?
Because it doesn't work otherwise.
That wasn't enough of an answer. But, I understand now because you showed me.
I will show you.
But you see, I asked this yesterday because I didn't understand why we couldn't just, sew on a few triangles and make a goose as we went. But Yeah, go on, you say.
Well, I was going to say, if you've only got just this square here, and you want to add it onto there, when you come to add the next piece on, you've got to do what we call a set-in seam. It means you've got to sew to there, and you'd have to sew it onto there.
Yeah, already that's sounding complicated.
Exactly. So, so by just sewing those pieces together, it's already
just straight lines,
straight to go on.
Let's just make life easy and just have straight lines.
Absolutely.
Job done.
Absolutely. Now, you'll see on this one, I've done the alternative. This one, I cut these on the slant. But this one, I've cut it straight, just so that you can see that you could do it either way. See, there's the other one. But you could do it that way. So you don't have to fussy cut if you're not... You know, if you're not comfortable with doing that,
if you're not at that stage,
if you're not ready, save it for another day, and just do it as it comes. So we've got that. So then that will go on, and then that will make our completed block.
And this is what I'm realising, Joy, is that it doesn't matter how good you get at quilting. There's always a step that you can do to make it better, to make it more professional. Yes. You never stop learning. But if you don't actually start...
You don't learn anything.
You're never going to get anywhere. Yeah. And that's the thing. And I've sat on a great big stash of fabric at home being too scared to start. But since I've been here, I've done so much more sewing.
Great.
Because actually, and it's not perfect. And I bring stuff to wear that I've made that's not perfect, but I've made it and I've had a go and I'm getting better every time. That's the thing. And now I look back at other makes, and rather than cringing because the point isn't perfect on my patchwork or something like that, instead I look and I go, wow, look how far I've come.
I've got one of the first quilts I ever made at home. I made a little cock quilt. Yeah. And I'm talking sort of 40 odd years ago now. Yeah. And I have absolutely no idea what I was thinking at the time. And it's only squares. Yeah. How wrong can you get putting squares together?
Oh, if you mean quite wrong.
Yeah. And I used an old flannelette sheet for the backing, which is all pilled and whatever. And I'm not sure what I used as wadding, but it feels like a brick. It's so sorry, I have no idea what it was. But it was made and it was used and it did the job.
It did the job, and that's it. And now you can look back at it and go,
come a little bit further than that.
This is the thing. You know, this might be the first quilt that you've ever made. Yes. So if you don't fussy cut, don't worry about that, but just make it. And everything that comes together, this is a lovely way to start, because each block ends up as a 12-inch finished piece.
It does.
And then, you know, and you don't have to worry about suddenly having this great big quilt that you've got to quilt. It's quilted as you go, and this is the beauty of it.
And here's one I made.
Yay! Now you're going to show us how to do this, because this is, you know, we focus on how to make the patchwork front bit and all of that, and it all looks lovely. But then we've got to join these together, and this is why I say it's like a modular system. You join them together, and this is how you decide how big you want your quilt to be.
Yes, because you just put as many together as you want to do. Now, again, all the instructions are on the back of this sheet with lots of lovely diagrams to help us all along the way.
Okay.
So the first thing you're going to do is we're just going to zigzag all the way around the edge.
Now it says to do that. Why do we have to zigzag around the edge? What's that for?
It just helps to keep it all nice and stable, and to keep it nice and flat, because as I say, it does tend to sort of roll itself around a bit. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to trim it back, and again it tells you, so you can just get your long ruler.
So trim it back to 1/4 of an inch.
Half an inch beyond, so you can trim that all the way round. If you've got a 12.5-inch square, then
happy days, you're done.
You're done, you're ready to go. And you can see on here, we can just see the lines of the outside of the block that was printed on.
Oh, right, that's the printed on
That's the printed on one.
Right.
If you can't see, you can go on and just draw it again.
Okay.
On the back, we're going to need to draw on the back as well. Okay. So that you can see where you need to go. Once you've done that, you need your sashing strips. Now, so this is sort of coming down to this bit now. You've got 2 strips, two different widths.
This is your cutting back bit on the instructions, and now we're starting to do the sashing.
Yeah, so we've got the sashing. So you've got one which you leave open, and the wider one you fold in half and you press it in half.
Yes.
Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to pin them onto each other. So we're going to pin right up to this line on here. Okay, so
that's why you still need that line. So if you can't see it, if your fabric's gone a bit over, don't worry, just draw it on again.
Just draw it back on again, and then pins. There we go.
And this is where it's given new quilters that extra helping hand, because if you have gone a bit squiffy with your sewing, it doesn't matter, you just draw that straight line again and pop it on.
Just pop it back on again. So I'm just going to pin this onto here.
Now, producer Paul is saying, please make sure you check out your baskets. Don't want anybody else missing out on this. Whether you're buying the wadding by itself, whether you're buying each of the bundles that we've brought you, the stock is dwindling. Okay. Let's be honest, dwindling.
Grab it quick.
Well, especially the batting by itself. Please grab it. Batting and wadding is the same thing. So if you hear me call it either, in America it's called batting, and in this country it's called wadding. So just
Okay.
Okay.
So I've just pinned the single fold one onto the front, and then on the reverse, I'm going to take the folded one. Now this is the important bit when you're pinning this one on. You need to make sure that the fold is pointing into the middle of your block, so that all the raw edges.
You're going to be sewing into that raw edge.
Yeah. So then I'm going to line this up on my 1/2 inch line on here, and I'm going to pin it again. Now just be careful where your pins are from the other side.
Now I think for me this is probably one of the most technical pieces that when I was reading the instructions I probably would have had to have read a few times and go, well, why? Yeah. I don't understand why, but this is lovely to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got it pinned on both sides.
Yes.
And now I'm just going to stitch all the way down.
Okay. Quarter of an inch.
Quarter of an inch seam. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go.
Now again, are you having to do it? Oh no, straight for it.
Going for it. No, we don't need to lock the stitches on this, because when we come to join the next lot of sashing strips along, it will cover all that up, so it'll all be trapped inside.
Excellent. So £57.95 gets you everything that you need. So it gets you the Tanya Whelan Garden Ticking Fair Square Quilting Bundle. It's math, isn't it? But it is. There's a lot. Look at all of that. So you get this beautiful fabric. You get the wadding. It's all there. 4 meters of fabric in there. That's a lot. And in the right proportions as well, which also helps.
That's right. It's exactly what you need to do the whole thing. There we go. So so now I've got that sewn on both sides. So it looks a little bit like a hinge.
Yes.
No?
I can see that, yes.
What we're going to do now then is we need to join these together.
Okay.
So make sure you've got them facing the right way round. I'm going to go that way because my flowers are then going to point the right.
Little details, I'm with you.
So now all we need to do is take this over to here. And again, we're going to pin it on. So with this time, we're just pinning that front.
Don't worry about that one, leave that one.
Just leave that one, just leave that one where it is.
Now we've had a message, Paul in North Yorkshire. Good morning, Paul.
Morning, Paul.
He says, do you suggest to wash the fabric first, ladies?
I don't. I don't wash fabrics.
Do you know, there is a divide on here amongst our guests. There are those that say if you don't want any shrinkage, cotton fabric across the board, there's normally a slight shrinkage in there. But there are lots of our guests who say actually they really like the texture that slight amount of shrinkage gives when it's washed. Yeah. So it's entirely up to you. If you want this quilt to stay exactly as you make it, then wash your fabric first. Yeah. If you like that scrunchy extra that slight amount of shrinkage is going to give you, then don't.
Yeah, you're going to get very little shrinkage on a good quality cotton. Yeah. For me, I only wash if the manufacturer tells me to. Right. Because they know best. They've made the stuff. They know if it needs to be washed. Yes. Or if I think there's any danger of it, of the colour bleeding out or anything like that. Other than that, I don't. And particularly with something like this, because you want that extra body in the fabric to do it.
Okay, we've got 2 minutes left.
Oh, quick, let's sew this down. We can do this.
We got this, Joy. We got this.
We can do it.
Yeah.
As long as
But this is it. The instructions are very clear. I love the fact that you get such detailed instructions in here, so you can just go for it.
Yeah.
How long would one of these take?
To make the whole quilt?
Yeah. I know it's a bit, how long's a piece of string, because everyone works at different levels.
If you didn't have to do anything else, you'd get it done within a couple of days. Yeah.
Right. Very achievable.
Depends on your skill level again as well, and if you've made one before, then possibly you've got. So now,
oh look, nice.
We've got this joined together, and this will match up here.
Beautiful.
And then we just fold this over, and then we can stitch that down.
Now this is slip stitched by hand, isn't it? This is the only piece of hand stitching that needs to be done.
Yeah.
But you see, normally with the quilt, you'd bind by hand, wouldn't you, around the edge anyway? So you've got this bit here, and look, this is what it's going to look like on the back when it's done. So you've got interest on the back as well as the front, which I really like about these Quilt-as-you-goes.
Yeah.
Lovely. Now please do check out your baskets, because nothing, well, I mean, this is the truth of the matter, isn't it? Until you've checked out the basket, it's not yours.
It's not yours.
No, anybody else can have it. So you can check out as many times as you like. It's only 1 p.m. per day. Now, if you've got any queries or questions, do phone our free phone number, 0800 112 4433. Joy, we are out of time.
Oh, crikey, already?
This is the set that we've been using today, 57.95 RPGC 32, and that gives you all of the fabric and the wadding. It arrives, you cut it up, you get sewing. Bish, bash, bosh.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Now, you're going to come back and show us how to use some beautiful creative grids later.
I am.
We've got an absolute treat, because they're lovely, the designs that you've done. Can't wait to see that.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Go and have your second breakfast.
I will.
I'll
come back refreshed.
And next up, brand new guest, we've got Carolyn Forster here, bringing us some of her own brilliant designs.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love. Did you know there are multiple ways you can contact us, even if it's just to ask a question? Our friendly team are always on standby. You can call our customer service team at 0800 112 4433, email us at help@sewingquarter.com, visit our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter @SewingQuarter, and even message us through our website, and our presenters will answer your questions live on air.
Join us on Wednesday the 31st of May when we welcome back the lovely Jo Carter, who will be debuting her brand new soft toy. Designed exclusively for Sewing Quarter, Jo will be demonstrating how you can make this amazing robot. The kit includes a 16-page instruction booklet with templates, and you can choose from 4 different colourways, or make them all. So, make sure you join Jo and her brand new robot soft toy at 8 a.m, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78. The Sewing Quarter website is simple and easy to use. You can view a live broadcast of the show on our homepage. Get instant access to our online shop, which has a wide range of wonderful products for you to choose from. You can also enjoy a selection of projects and guides which we have on offer to help you enhance your skills and gain valuable tips. Watch the live shows and you can buy the product which is currently being shown on air. You can even message the studio to ask our presenters or team any questions you might have. Below, you'll find all the products from today's show for you to look at and purchase. On the right of the screen, next to today's products, you will find our simple program guide listing all upcoming shows. So, join us today at sewingquarter.com.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
Good morning, welcome back. Now, this hour, it's today, well, not this hour, all hours today, is our Today's Quilter magazine takeover day. We've been overrun with quilting, which means that we have the privilege of having a brand new guest today. Carolyn Forster is here. We've got her book, well, one of her 7 books we've got for us, for you to have a look at today. But because it is today's Quilter Takeover Day, we've got a little offer on for you today. So if you'd like to give it a go, maybe you've never tried it before, maybe it's one that you've sort of flipped through in the shop and gone, yes, like to try it. $4.99, we've taken £1 off for you so that you can try it today. It's got 10 binding clips coming with it as well. And it's just full of beautiful inspiration, beautiful quilts. We'll have a look through it throughout the morning. But that is there for you as an offer to celebrate the fact that it is today's Quilter Takeover Day, yes. Which means that we need to bring you big quilting bundles. Now, if you are into quilting, if you love to make big queen size type quilts, this is what we've got for you today. It's not often that we manage to do this for you, but today, oh my goodness, absolutely gorgeous. So you're getting 8.5 meters of fabric plus an entire design roll. Oh yes, we've got 2 different options for you. So here we have, let's go straight into this. This is your queen size wadding. This is a 50-50 bamboo mix, I do believe. Yes, it is. So we've got this for you. I mean, look at this. Fabulous quality with this. This is just such a lovely quality bundle here. So you're getting all of that. Look how, wow. It's only £2.95 P&P, by the way, per day. That's great. There we go. So we've got that. Now, let's just move that over to there. You're also going to get 8.5 meters of your optical white in here. It's gonna make these fabrics here absolutely sing, beautiful. But then we've also given you 1.5 meters of this beautiful fabric here. Now this is gonna be for binding. How gorgeous is that? Look at the richness of those colors. Absolutely beautiful. And then we've also popped in, look at this. Oh, now. This is, look at that, that's your design roll. This is your Tulip Pink True Colours range. Absolutely exquisite. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. So you get all of this and your wadding, don't forget that. And on top of that, we're also giving you the So Jelly Roll Quilts and Gifts. This is by the lady herself, Carolyn Forster. And so we're going to show you one idea of one of the quilts to make today, but just full of lots of inspiration, lots of different quilts, lots of ideas as to what you can make when you get all of these things home. Absolutely gorgeous, step-by-step instructions. Look at that, all sorts. Now, the one that we're making, I'll show you in just 1 minute. But this is coming in it, so you're always going to have this as a reference. So we're going to show you one idea, but actually look through the book, you might find something else that you'd rather make instead. But all based around this. Now, with the bundle, it's saving over £11 today, so it's worth getting a bundle, isn't it? Always worth. But I know that you like choice, so we've got another bundle option for you as well. So come across and have a look over here. Now again, you get your wadding, your bamboo 50-50 mix. Look at that. Oh, lovely and squashy. And then you've got a cream here. Look at that. So slightly softer tone. And then that's for your backing and also for part of the design. You'll see why in a minute. And then this fabric here is going to be for your edging, your binding. And then this is the Eden range. You know that, I don't know if you remember when we've done shows, I absolutely love this one. This is Tulip Pink again, such a clever designer. And this is the one where you've got the tigers. And it's very sort of, it's very exotic in its design, just beautiful colours in there. Just an exquisite design roll. Now, 8 meters of fabric, 8.5 meters of fabric, sorry, and then on top of that you get your design roll, 40 strips in each of these design rolls. There is a lot of fabric going on here, an awful lot, plus your book for your inspiration, plus your wadding. It's all in there, $149.95. This is one of those days where we absolutely have not skimped one iota. It is all absolute gorgeous quality. So if you would like the Eden Design Spool Quilt, and it's the Spool Quilt that we are making today, and the lady behind the design is Carolyn Forster. Hello, how are you?
Good to see you.
Now, Carolyn, how did you get into quilting?
I started when I was still at school, so it was something in a craft lesson, and that was years ago. That was when I was about 16, and I haven't stopped since in one way or another.
You got the bug, so that was it?
I got the bug, yes.
Excellent. Now, come and tell us about what we're going to do today, because this is out of your book. Where's it gone? Hang on, I'm going to go grab it. I've left it over there. Woo! 7 books you've written?
Yeah. Give or take, so it's
so many, it just lose track.
Yeah, so we're going to have a go at the spool quilt. We're going to look at how to make the spool block from
Definitely your book.
Yes, definitely my book with my name in it, my picture.
Got your photo and everything. Now, hang on, I need to find the page that it's on. Let me see. Spool. Where is it?
Oh, don't ask, because once it always goes in the book, it's like I flick through with everyone else, just looking, where's it gone? Where's it gone?
Do you know what? Let's have a flick through. Now, this is focusing on your design rolls, jelly rolls, whatever you want to call them. They're called numerous things, which is why it's so perfect that we've put this particular design together. Have we got a picture of some of Carolyn's finished quilts to show? Let me just show you what we're heading towards. There we go. There's so much that you can make out of these. So this is one of Carolyn's finished quilts. Let's have a look. Look at that. That's the Spool Quilt. That's the one. Isn't that beautiful? Now, that's one that you've made, isn't it?
It's one that I made. It's one of the first ones that I did. And when we did the projects for the book, I used specific jelly rolls, whereas that one was more scraps or things that I'd cut from my own fabrics. But by starting off with a pre-cut jelly roll, it just meant you could get into making it so much quicker. So I used a pre-cut in the way that we did for the little mini quilt that I made for today.
Now, hang on. Oh, we've got templates in the back as well. So this is the one that we're making as well. Now this is, if we take a look at this, this is out of the Eden range. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We've got that somewhere. Oh, hang on, let me grab it. And it is, the colours are just gorgeous on it, absolutely gorgeous. Now the reason that we've put so much, well, you've got, what is it, 8 meters?
Yeah, we've got
of the
white, because we feature that on the front so that, you know, it makes your fabrics pop, and then we're using it on the back as well because it's just a nice, clean, crisp look.
It's 7.5 meters of the white, and then you get 1.5 meters of, so 7 meters of the white, and then 1.5 meters of the spot. Because look, and you've hand quilted this.
Well, it's sort of, if you've got the time, we sit around in the evening and do that, then it just actually, it occurs really quickly, so it doesn't take, and we've used the thick thread, so it's it sort of shows up, makes everything pop a bit.
So that's one block, effectively, or is it lots
You've got 9 blocks there, so you can make it in groups of 9, or you can make, the quilt itself needs 81 blocks, so you can sort of break it down.
81 individual, so that's
81
a block.
of these, yeah, they're 6 inches finished, so you've got 9 rows of 9 blocks, but because it's a repeat block, once you start making them and get, you know, into the swing of the production line going, then again, you just build up your skill base, and they'll grow really quickly. So it's a fun one to do.
It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and the colours exquisite. Was the fabric easy to use?
It is, because you've got so much variety in that roll of the different textures, and I like
You've got
sort
40
of
strips
scrappy
in there.
looking. So with this sort of range, you've got something that's quite interesting. You've always got different prints to keep your eye moving across.
Now this is the Eden one, isn't it? This is this is one of my favourite. Well, actually, I'm a big Tudor pink fan. Just the colours are gorgeous and the designs. But this is the one that's got that tiger eye in. So you'll be, and you said because it's in the 2.5-inch strip, you don't necessarily see the full tiger face. You might just suddenly get an eye or something. But, oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This is the one where it's got the elephant and the peacock. If you hold it up one way, it's an elephant, and if you spin it around, it's a peacock in the other. It's one of those design rolls that's just got so much depth.
Yeah,
beautifully,
so much going on.
beautifully designed. So this is what we're making today. How do we start?
Right then. To start with, you've got the jelly rolls. You've got these already pre-cut. So the pieces that we need for this particular quilt, you're going to need pieces for the centre, which are 2.5 inches square. So that's pretty straightforward for you to start cutting those. What I would do first, though, is I'd actually start cutting these shapes, which I think earlier on I said I think they're trapezoids.
Yes,
I could remember that correctly. So they don't look the most obvious shape to cut with your rotary cutter and ruler, but actually they are pretty straightforward. So I was going to start showing you how to cut those, and then how to cut the white fabric, because you've got that as yardage, but you don't have to cut that as 2.5-inch strips.
This is one of those things, the more I look at this, the different things I see, yes, it's a spool, but actually sometimes they look like fabulous bow ties.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they look like egg timers.
Yeah,
it
one of the ways we
is.
put it together, it does look a bit like egg timers. But yeah, so it's great. Do you want to get making?
Yes.
Do you want to get?
Always.
Right, so to cut our 7.25-inch strips, you can look at your cutting mat and you can start cutting. And this is, she says, all upside down for me. Because I'm one of those people who do actually look at the numbers on the mat. Oh, we can move it the other way around.
We can spin it around. Carolyn, we have the technology.
Oh, talk about awkward.
There
Here
you
I
go.
am.
There you go.
Okay, brilliant. That's better. Right. Okay, so basically you can put your strip down straight onto the mat. It's already cut. You can use any of your rulers. It won't matter. We're just cutting short bits because we need to trim off the end with the selvage on. We can get that off, and then we can start cutting. So position that back, and you're going to cut 7.25. And I must admit, I use the mat for this. You can use your ruler as well. Then you've got a double check there. So 7.25 inches is going to be here.
Well, that's great, isn't it? My grandmother was a seamstress, and the thing that I always remember is measure twice, cut once. She always used to say.
It's a pretty good rule. Otherwise, you do end up with lots of bits left for your scrap bag as opposed to...
But actually, your final hour today, 11 o'clock, save those scraps.
Save those miscuts.
For 11 o'clock,
So you can work along your jelly roll. You can cut a couple of those 7.25-inch sets. I must admit, when I do these, I pair these up, so this will end up being the top and bottom of a spool block. But you can mix them up. It doesn't really matter. It's really personal. You can make that quilt your own by mixing them up. Once they're cut like this, you now need to get them to a trapezoid, and you can either use the lines on your cutting mat. You've got these diagonal lines. You've got 45-degree lines, and if you line the corner, let's find one that we like the look of, we can see. If we line the corner of the strip up with where the 45-degree line is bisecting that horizontal there, what you can do is just using your regular ruler, just line up the ruler on that angle and cut through.
Right.
And that's going to take your 45 degrees off. Now, you've done it one end, you need to do it the other. And so for that, I'll show you any rotary cutting ruler has got the 45-degree line on. So I could use this square. I could use...
Look. Hiding under here. We've got a little triangular ruler.
We have. So that's going to be, other options. And you've got it on your long ruler as well. But if you've got one of the nifty rulers that's cutting the half-square triangles or what have you, that is automatically a 45-degree line. So without having to look at any lines on anything, you can have your strip wherever on the mat. You can just line up your horizontals on the bottom, and you've got...
It's right tools for the job, isn't it?
It's saying how versatile some of your tools are, because you can use this. Yes, you've got it for your half-square triangles, which is brilliant. And again, there are quilts in the book that use this because you need half-square triangles. But having it using to make the trapezoids makes that
now that ruler is just
straightforward.
$8.95.
Which is good for an all-round tool that you're going to use. I think
time and time again, I see that it is just about having the right tool for the job. And you see, this is it. Because you get within the kit, we're showing you how to make this, and this is the kit that you're getting. But you get 8.5 meters of fabric, and on top of that, you then get a 40-piece fabric strip design roll bundle, which is beautiful. So 40 2.5-inch strips cut for you, and your wadding and the book. That's one option, $149.95 for that. Your other option, now this is using the Eden, which is the one that we've shown you. So there's either one. The colours are stunning. Here we go. So again, 7 meters of your backing in that cream, and here you've got your 1.5 meters of the spot for your binding, and then that gorgeous Eden design roll bundle. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now, within the book, and I'm just going to show briefly because you have options. Now, here's another one. So you know, because you're getting the book, you do have the option. We're showing you one way. Yeah,
we're showing you how to do the Spools quilt, but all of the quilts that are in the book do actually just need one jelly roll and usually some backing fabric or a border. This one, actually, the entire centre of the quilt is just the jelly roll, and then we've added a border. But it's also the sort of thing, if you wanted to make the quilt bigger, you could just buy another jelly roll and then just keep going. Working.
Just keep going.
On that particular quilt.
Because this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, it might be that actually maybe you don't have a 45-degree ruler, maybe that's too much for you at this stage, but you could just sew in straight lines.
Yeah, I mean, loads of the quilts in here, you've just got straight lines. There's another one with white pattern squares in the middle and little borders round. And again, it's going to start you off because you've got your fabric, 2.5-inch wide strips already cut. So it's pretty straightforward to get going. Get started off.
This is the one that we're making today. This is one of yours. I mean, you brought in, this must be a design that you love, because you brought in 3 of these, and each one looked so different depending on the fabric that was used, but every single one is gorgeous. But just look, this is the one that we're doing. So depending on your skill level, what I would say, oh, here's another one. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's the one that's in the book. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, yours is going to look different again because, of course, how you choose to pair the fabrics within your design rolls is going to be, that's what I love about this. Each one is going to be unique to you. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And because we've bundled it, we're saving you money. It's not to love about saving money.
That's all good, isn't it?
But overall, the overriding feeling with this is of incredible quality. I love the bamboo wadding that we've put in there, the 50/50 bamboo.
I must admit, quilting it, because I chose to quilt it by hand, and for the other project later on, we did quilting as well. And really, really lovely to use and really soft. So I was really pleased with it. I thought it handled really nicely if you're a hand quilter. And again, machining, the binding on, the quilting, just the way the batting wadding works. It's really nice wadding. So I think the bamboo's nice. I like the natural things.
It's a treat to use, isn't it?
It was very nice, yeah.
So sometimes sometimes we try and cut corners and skimp, but what I would say is never skimp on your materials. You know, if you can afford to use beautiful fabrics, then do. Treat yourself, because this is going to be something that it's going to be an heirloom.
I was going to say, it's going to be an heirloom. It's going to be something that's going to last, and also the time that you're spending on it, whether you hand quilt it or machine quilt it, whether you hand piece the blocks or machine piece the blocks, it is something that, you know, you're going to enjoy using it, making, and then the people that are having it afterwards, if you're giving it away and not keeping it for yourself, then yeah, you're going to find...
I don't know that I could.
Well, give it away.
I don't know that I could after spending all that time on it. But this is it. These are fabrics to fall in love with, and they so are. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Just beautiful. Gorgeous. And everything that you need to get going.
Everything in the kit.
Including 7 metres.
7 metres, so it's like, where are my 2.5-inch wide strips for my spool blocks?
Yes.
Well, what you're going to do is you're going to cut them yourself, but the nifty little trick is that you don't, because you've got yardage, you don't have to cut 2.5-inch wide strips to start with.
Okay.
What we're going to do is cut the 7.25-inch wide.
So we're cutting the
fat bit
length
as opposed
rather
to the
than the width.
Yeah.
Height,
yeah.
Whichever way around you want to look at it.
Yeah,
the long bit.
The fat bit as opposed to the thin bit. Let's be very simple. The fat bit as opposed to the thin bit.
We're cutting this bit.
And exactly.
Rather than that bit.
And it's just going to make it easier, and it's also better use of your fabric. You won't have any sort of any as negligible waste with that, and it makes it easier to cut, basically. So I was just going to take people through that.
This is a great illustration. You know, so many times we say, firstly, use a plane to make the colours pop of your beautiful designer fabric. So you've got the beautiful tulip pink fabrics in here.
Which
they
is
are
great.
absolutely exquisite, but because we've put that plane in with it, and you're getting 7 metres of this, let it do its work, let it pop. And that's what it's doing.
Yeah, it really gives it a nice clear, I can't say that, crisp, clear finish.
Yes,
so,
that you say that.
Yeah, don't repeat that, don't repeat that.
No.
So yeah, so it does, it's a nice clean, fresh look, which I think is really sort of contemporary. It's really popular now. So yeah, I love it, it's great.
Excellent. Let's cut these strips.
Okay, so what we're going to do to cut the strips is pop your fabric on the board, and I just line the selvage up with the straight line at the bottom, and I'm just going to use the ruler there to trim off any sort of mismatch that I've got at the beginning, and for some reason I seem to need to use the entire width of everything, so I'm moving you out of the way there.
Now,
and I missed a bit in the
well,
middle.
do you know, this is our fault because we raised our desk.
For
so it's
extra
really
short
also.
people like
Carolyn
me.
is on her tiptoes. There's me giant over here, like, yes, this is the perfect height for me.
I want one of those toddler steps. You know, like when you have them in the bathrooms, they can reach the sink and the loo.
My son has discovered where we hide it. So now whenever I'm doing any washing up or washing the fruit or anything else, he goes and gets it and stands and has to flick everything everywhere.
You have to put it in for me. I could have used that.
Well, you know, he's probably washing fruit.
Excellent.
It's one of his favourite things to do. And then he'll throw in a tractor or something.
Well, you know just get it all in there. Absolutely. Right, so what we've done is we've trimmed up, now that I could reach it, we've trimmed up the beginning here, and what we're cutting, remember, is not the 2.5-inch wide strip, it's the 7.25.
Right.
So you can use the marks on the cutting mat. I know Joy was using the 2-ruler process earlier on.
Yeah. She's a whiz with a double ruler.
She's a pretty whiz. I must admit...
But you might not have 2 rulers.
You might not have...
It's an extravagance, isn't it? If you've got 2 rulers, excellent. But you might not.
You might not, but also when you do build up that stash of rulers, which you do, because you do start off thinking, well, one's fine, and then you do think, but that other size, you know, you treat yourself. I must admit as well, for this, I find the cutting mats, you know, it's accurate enough for what we're doing, so it's not all going to fall apart because I haven't got 2 rulers.
I use my cutting mat actually more and more. When I remember that it's got you know,
Numbers
useful
and
things
lines.
on it.
Yeah, and it's facing the right way and you can read them.
Well, yeah, they get that too. You know, all these things work in its favour. It's
Yeah,
great.
absolutely. So we've got it 20, I'm going from 20 to 27 1/4, and we're just going to cut at 7 1/4.
Producer Paul, have we got this particular ruler on the show today? Because the nice thing about this that I'm noticing is that now you've folded your fabric selvage to selvage.
Yeah, which is as it came off the bolt, so I didn't have to do anything.
Which is great. And this ruler is long enough so that you're not then having to shimmy it up. So this ruler is perfect if you are cutting like this with your fabric cut in half, folded in half, selvage to selvage, then this ruler down the bottom does that. So £13.95. So that's a really handy one, isn't it, to have?
I must admit, this was the size that I first ever started with, thinking, oh, that's it, you know, rotary cutting, this is the be-all and end-all in rulers. It does actually cut everything. Once you get the knack of it, all the weird shapes, it will cut everything. It's only after a while that you then think, actually, you know, perhaps, there's a small one, there's a different colour one, or, you know, something like that.
As happens.
But this, for me, it was the first ruler I started with, and
this is your bread and butter ruler, isn't it?
It's just going to serve you for everything. So I think it's, it is your basic, and also, yes, for me, it's the fact that it will go across a full half width of fabric, which often when you've got your yardage, it comes ready folded. If you're not pre-washing, you can just, you know, take it as is and get going.
Yeah.
So
what's the next step? So we've cut 7 1/4.
We cut 7 1/4, and now we're just going to turn the fabric the other way. We're going to trim the selvage off because we don't need that. And this is when you would trim. So we take that off. We line our ruler up. And this now is where you're going to cut your 2.5 inch wide strips. So we can use the markings on the ruler, we can line those up with the markings on the mats. We've got a double check really there. And what we'll cut now are 2.5 inch wide strips.
There we go.
So you'd probably find if we worked all the way through this, basically what you're getting is you get less wastage this way.
Okay.
And it's not we don't want scraps, but you know, a lot of the time you just want to be as economical as you can. And also,
I think that's a common theme amongst all our guests is there's no waste. Never waste anything. And if this is a more economical way to cut your fabric, do it this way. If you cut the other way, it's fine, not wrong, but you'll just have more lovely scraps to use up in another project.
True, it is. And then you find your scrap bags getting bigger, which is sort of no bad thing, because then that's your go-to stash.
11 o'clock show for that one. Big wink. Yeah.
So we've got those, and then basically what you're going to do is you can use your angled ruler. Also, I see here you've actually got the rotary.
Oh yes.
Oh right, like this. Okay, cool. This is a real treat actually, because it means when you cut these, actually you could use the markings on it. That's 30 degrees. That won't work. There we go. Yeah, read the right things or double check. We can double check with this as well. Don't just go for it. Really, talk about inaccurate. Build a rocket ship with this.
Yeah.
So we can cut, and instead of picking up your fabric, because basically a lot of mistakes might come through overhandling, you could actually go and cut it the wrong way round. You can twiddle it round on the mat. So if you're worried about picking the fabric up, putting it down a lot, which is a lot of the time when people make mistakes, you could actually use what I call the twiddly mat, the rotary mat. But here we go, we've got extra.
I call it the spinny mat. So, yeah, a technical term is your rotating mat, and it's $32.95.
So we could use that, and that saves you picking everything up so much. The other thing that I do sometimes is when I've got 2 7 1/4 inch pieces, she says, now trying to find a piece. Here we go. If you know that these two fabrics are going to go together, then basically you could trim those both together.
Oh, and then you know you're
and then you've always got your blocks paired up as well, ready to stitch. But then after that, you've just got your fabric, from the leftover bits of fabric, what you're going to cut are your 2.5-inch squares for the centre. So that's going to be a nice straight forward.
Now, if you've just joined us, this is what we're making today. Now, we've got two different options for you. Each of the options that we've got, both of the options, have got a different Tula Pink design roll in there. Absolutely gorgeous. So it's up to you which particularly bundle of gorgeousness you're after. Which particularly? Which particular?
I knew you were going to say bundle of gorgeousness.
It is, yeah, bundle of gorgeousness. Well, it is. This is the thing. Right, let me show you what you're getting for your money, because you are getting a lot. 7 meters of vanilla. Now let me just, this is one bundle. Oh, I've left the book over there. I'll get the book in a minute. You get the book as well. So you might choose to do this quilt, but actually all of the quilts within the book will use your jelly roll strip. So that is your queen size quilt. That's what we're aiming for. This is a big size quilt, a queen size quilt, and this is your 50-50 bamboo mix. So it's a gorgeous quality that we've given you here. That's your wadding, and you get that in it. Now, 7 meters. I don't even, would just stretch across. We won't open it all out, but you get the idea, you know, and yeah, 7 meters of this. So this means this is your plain. This means that you can use this to make those beautiful colours in your jelly roll really pop, really stand out. And then you've got the rest for your backing as well. And then you've got your 1.5 meters of your spot on here. Now this means that this is for your binding. This is going to go all the way around your quilt. But for me, the hero of this kit is, and it's been gorgeously laid out. Can we say we've got a different floor manager today? We've got Munch in, and look at this. He has, look how beautifully he's laid that out. It will never go back again into that jelly roll bit, but it doesn't matter because we're using it. Look at all those gorgeous colours. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, I love this collection. Now we've put this one with the vanilla, which just all works well together, so beautifully together. Look, this is the, this is the one. Look, I've just found it. You know what I'm saying? This is the one with the eye of the tiger. And there, so you're just going to get little interesting pops. You've got the tiger face. Isn't that gorgeous? And you've got it in a different colour. Look, there he is again. Oh, that's upside down. There he is. Beautiful. Beautiful, stunning fabric. That is your Eden option. Let's pop across over here. Great big things here. This is, you're getting all the colours in this. Now this one gives you 7 meters of your optical white. This is your strong, strong white. It's loads. I mean, gosh, look at this. That's it. Well, I can't. I'd be like the Andrex puppy, just throwing fabric everywhere, unrolling it all. So I can't unroll it all, but you are getting 7 meters of fabric there. Wow. And then 1.5 meters of this. Look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is your Dashwood fabric from your Distant Dreams collection. Isn't that gorgeous? Lovely. But then, so it's all designer. This is then your Tanya Whelan True Colours. Look at that. What I absolutely love about this is that it's a rainbow. It's an absolute rainbow of colours. Just gorgeous. And you've got some absolutely exquisite designs through there. I mean, look, if you just see, this is the thing. I mean, you might want to do the spool as a rainbow. You could do each one in a different rainbow. And because look, there, it's all sorted together in your rainbow. Beautiful. Gorgeous. This is what we're making. So both of the bundles are £149.95, but you get everything. Just add your thread. Now, this is all from your book, Carolyn, isn't it?
Yes, it is. This particular quilt is in the Jelly Rolls book.
And you even get the book. So you might be absolutely going for this, and I think you should. but also there are other options. So have a look through. You've got this inspiration, whether you choose to do this one now and then another one when you get your next jelly roll, it's entirely up to you. You've got lots of options. And actually within the book as well, lots of little makes, which are really beautiful as well. One of my particular favourites, look, I've even noted the page.
Sticky fix-it.
Yeah, is the Japanese bag.
Yeah,
really
that's pretty cool. You can make that lots of different sizes, and we made a really big sort of funky boho-y size, sort of beach baggy size one for this book. So no, it was good fun.
And what I also like about this, now you like to hand-based, and you give little tips, and they're not expensive tips, because look, here you've even used a spoon.
Yeah, if you're hand-basting, one of the biggest problems is people saying, oh, but you have to lift the quilt up to do it, and you don't. You keep it flat on the table or on the floor, and to stop you getting sore fingers, especially if you don't like using thimbles. If you use like a teaspoon, most of us have got a teaspoon. You could, if you're really sort of a bit more posh, use a grapefruit spoon.
Oh, hello.
Grapefruit is a bit...
So you're going to say a silver spoon. If you're very posh,
no, you
break out the silver.
And obviously our poshness just elevated us to a grapefruit spoon. So because the little teeth at the front, they just basically pick up the needle. And sometimes, especially if you're safety pin based, actually, I use the grapefruit spoon for that. But
brilliant.
It's all, you know, use what you've got.
Now, let's make a spool.
Let's make a spool. Well, I've got some ready-made, and so I've made sure I picked one that had got the fabric that you quite liked. It hasn't got a tiger eye in that bit, but it was that nice sort of pixelated. I like that.
I love it.
And also actually in the book, we were talking about the little project. We make one of these, and we make it into like a little cushion, and we stuff it and put lavender in.
Yes, the lavender
which
bags.
Is quite cool. Or you can just put stuff it and then use it as a big pin cushion.
Nice.
Which is really nice, because then you've got a nice size pin cushion.
And actually, just one of those made into a pin cushion is a great way to use up your scraps, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're going to have some left over. Right.
Okay. First thing we need to do is we need to decide on our pairings.
Right.
I quite like, as you can see, sort of different textures together. I mix it up as much as I can. So for this particular block, and again, here you go, you can see your tiger.
There he is.
You can see your tiger eyes.
Tiger eyes.
And
this is the Eden set. Love it.
It's super, but I must admit, it took me a little while to see them.
Yeah, but when
because
you
I
do,
wasn't looking, and when you do, it's like, oh wow!
There
So nice surprises in the fabric there. So our block will look like this, and the first thing we're going to do is actually join these three pieces together in the centre. So you're going to pair these up, and what you'll notice, because of the sizings, is they obviously match top to bottom, but the square and the angles here, you're going to have like little ears poking out of the square, and that's absolutely fine. That's what should be happening. And then when you start stitching, I'm going to start from the side of the square, because we're going to start and stop 1/4 of an inch away from the raw edge of the fabric.
Right.
So it's not you can just mow straight through. And this is because what we're doing here, we're doing these what they call Y seams or set-in seams. We're actually going to be sewing around a corner when we make this block. And that means that's why we can get away with only having 4 pieces. You're quick, aren't you? I even hadn't computed. I was like, ooh. We can have those set-in pieces. There are other ways to make the block which have more seaming and more piecing, but I just think this is the traditional way for this one's really nice, clean finish.
Yes.
So we need to start and stop stitching 1/4 of an inch in from the edge.
Right, okay. A few ways to do this. You can fabric mark it with a pen. Or you can get to know your machine, your sewing machine, and I would recommend that before you start doing these things, do get to know your machine intimately, because a lot of machines on the actual feet will have these markings, and actually on the machine, on the base of the machine, the panel, you'll often have those markings on there.
You'll have some markings on the base of the machine, but the main one that I use is actually on, if you've got the 1/4 inch foot on the machine, it will have the markings before and after. And
this has been a revelation to me.
In the accuracy that
well, no,
it is usually the 1/4 inch foot does, when you've been thinking, oh, is this right? Oh, it looks right. And then you actually start using the foot, and there's just nothing to worry about, because it just comes out right
It wasn't
all the time.
that, isn't it? You know when sometimes you use something all the time and you don't actually look at it properly? It was only when I cracked open the instructions for my machine and I was like, oh, look at all these that my foot's got. Brilliant. So, yeah, do that, and that's That's how we're going to sew this.
That's how we're going to sew. So I'm going to stitch this, and I'm going to stitch either end. She says, looking to see where the foot is on here.
Now, the book is in the bundle, so all of the information that you require is in there. Now, I'm just going to take my little sticky note and put it on here. Oh, look, hey, here we go. We were just saying about how you can make a little mini one. So maybe you want to practice before you get going on your full quilt and make the little mini lavender bag. That's your little lavender bag, made exactly the same way.
Yeah, it's just using one block, so...
But yeah, so one block, but this is the finished deal. And look, it just shows you. So full instructions, there's your layout. Although you've given me options for layouts as well, we'll look at that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll have some options for different layouts.
And then there we go, full instructions as to how to do this step by step. So yes, watch the show back. Of course, watch the show back when you get your fabric and you want to get making. Oh, just gorgeous. I love this.
Right. So far with this then, we've stitched and we've started and stopped 1/4 inch in from the end of the square.
Right.
Now, the other thing you're saying about getting to know your machine
Yes.
is that you might find that you get better accuracy with that if you make the stitch length smaller.
Oh, okay.
Because if the stitch length's smaller, you've got more going up and downs, so
Right.
you're going to be closer to your 1/4 inch accuracy.
Spot on, right.
So that's often
That's
used.
truly accurate then,
As-
isn't it?
well, we keep our fingers crossed, don't
Yeah.
we? What you're going to do now is you're going to press this. You're going to use a hot iron. I'm just going to stand here improvising.
Do you?
with
I've got an iron.
Have you?
Yeah. I can.
Oh, and magic. Oh, crikeys.
Look at this.
Oh, who knew?
I know.
Is it on?
Now, yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, hopefully not, because it's on.
Will be in a minute.
So it's cool at the minute.
Well, yeah, but it won't be in a minute. Now, the price on your screen, we're taking £11 off today, so over £11 actually. So this should have been over £160. You are getting 8.5 metres of fabric. That's just your backing fabric and your binding fabric. Not only that, but you're then getting a beautiful designer fabric design roll. A design roll.
Designer design
on fire
roll.
today. Yep. By Tulip Ink. Each of the versions have got Tulip Ink, depends which one you want. You get the book as well, so this is lovely. This never runs out.
It'll set you up for a long time of stitching with all that.
Author live in the studio here, amazing. And you get a queen size bamboo mix packet of wadding in there as well, gorgeous. Now in this one, your edging, your binding fabric is actually Dashwood Studios as well, so it's like double designer.
Yeah, nice designers.
And this is the one that we've seen here, so $149.95, QIGC 98, and that is that one. It's
There you
just
go.
stunning.
Yeah, just a little mini version showing how well the fabrics work in this sort of quilt design. So yeah, really good fun to
gorgeous.
start off.
That's the Eden one, which is what we're working with today. There we go. It should be.
There we go, for a
warming up.
minuscule amount of pressing, but it does make a big difference to your finished result. So it was worth us waiting for that. We pressed the seams open, so we just need to...
Just make sure we're not ironing on the mat because it didn't like it. There we go.
That's fair enough. Okay, and we will leave that there for a millisecond because well, it won't
Do
be
you
a
know what? Let me
millisecond.
just rearrange my desk.
Rearrange your desk.
There we go. And then we can just keep that out for us. There we go.
Okay.
That's easy.
So what we can do now, you can see now you've got your spool shape in the making.
Yes.
We now just need to fill it in with the background, and this is where you're going to be using your Y-seam tech or you sewing round corners or setting in. Lots of different words, all saying exactly the same thing, that you're going to sew and pivot and sew and pivot.
Nice.
So to do that, what you want to do is you want to see where you're going to pivot, and you're going to pivot where you've just pressed that seam open and where you haven't stitched to the end.
Okay.
So because of that, it means when the needle gets that far, we can leave the needle in and pick the whole bit of fabric up and turn it round that corner. So that's what we're going to do now. So we're going to line up our pieces on our white fabric, so you've got your angles correct there, and we can start sewing, and you can start stitching right from the very edge this time. None of this 1/4 inch in job. You're going to start right from the very edge, and we're going to sew up to where those stitches have stopped and where that's open. And you can see here I'm nearly there, and I'm just going to, instead of using my foot, I'm just going to use my hand to get the needle down in position.
Crank in then, yeah.
And now pick the foot up, and you're going to pick up this top piece, pivot it round, because it is twiddling round, and you can line up that raw edge against the raw edge of the white piece underneath, and then here we go.
So you're going back over that seam that you've already done.
No,
hang on. Oh, no,
we turned the corner.
Sorry,
Turn
my
the
mistake.
corner,
Yeah.
so we're just continuing on, forward, ever forward. Keep going forward, none of this going backwards business. And as now we're all staring at it to see if I can get the needle right in the middle.
Well, no, I love that tip of short, it's like, short it. Well,
that's
while
like
you
the
do that,
intensity of it. Okay,
spin it around again.
Spin it around so you can see, actually getting a bit of a sneak peek there, you can see that we've already done 2/3 of it now.
Yes.
So we are coming out the other side, and out the other side, matching up your points at the end, and here we go.
That's fab. Now, we all know what a jelly roll looks like. We all know how beautiful they are to work with. But what sometimes we can't quite get in our heads is just how much 7 meters of fabric looks like. And this is 7 meters. This is the vanilla which is coming with the Eden. This is
a lot of fabric.
There's Munch. Give us a little wave there, Munch. Hello, Munch. This is our sewing quarter version of the Andrex advert. You know, where the dog unrolls the toilet roll.
Yeah,
it's like
so
that, but with 7 meters of backing fabric. That's one bit of your fabric that you're getting. Then you get. That's why, and this is in one strip as well. I mean, this is a whopping great big kit here. The value for money here is fantastic. That's if you were to put this, but because we cut our meter, our fabric by the half meter, that would be 14 units that you're putting in when you come to buy this.
Okay.
So if you've ever bought 14 units, it looks like this.
All in one go. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, it means you've got everything coordinating as well with the front of your quilt and the back of your quilt with the neutral that you're using, which is a nice.
You can fit 3 generations of family in under this as a tent. But you're also getting in here 1.5 meters of your backing, your beautiful designer fabric roll. There you go. And so that you can make this, not just one of those. How many of those blocks, the block of 9 do we need?
Oh, I've never worked that out. I know you need 81 of these.
Oh, so 9. You need 9 of these.
9, yeah.
9 nines are 81.
Still, aren't you? Yeah.
I used to be a maths teacher. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Occasionally, I remember to use it.
Thank goodness for maths teachers. I'm just like, oh no, 9. How does that work?
It's like a muscle, though. When you're not using it, you do.
Yeah, but
you
your
do get slower.
multiplication tables, you should just not have to think. Unlike me, who it's like cogs whirring. You can see things going on up above.
We've got 10 minutes left.
Okay, 10 minutes, and we should finish this and show you the other 2 layouts.
Oh, yes.
Other 2 layouts.
Yes.
So, we've got options. We've finished this side, and the next side we're going to put in is this side.
Exactly the same.
And it's exactly the same, basically.
Do you know, actually, this is one of those things that I've been scared of Y seams, just because everyone tells me they're difficult. But actually, it's not. And by the time that you've made this whole quilt, you're going to be a whiz at them.
It is. It's that whole repeat. The one way to learn like a new skill base for your patchwork is to just stitch the same thing over and over and over again. And doing a repeat block quilt like this one gives you that opportunity. But because you've got the jelly roll, all those fabrics, you've always, all your blocks are going to look different. So it's not like you're sewing the same block with the same same fabric every single time. So it makes it fun.
In one of my life reincarnations, I was a modern pentathlete, and my fencing instructor always used to say to me that the way to ingrain something 100% is to repeat 50,000 times correctly.
There you go.
That's a lot of...
It's a lot of times, yeah.
So there you go. Yeah.
We're only asking you to
162 times.
Do you know, I knew you were going to multiply that. I knew. I was thinking, can I get there before? And no.
We're a couple off the 50,000 or whatever it is. But do you know what? You're going to be a wizard at it, and you're never going to be scared of it again. And if you are worried, then do the little lavender bag first.
Do the little lavender bag, make one, but I think it's, you know, it's really straightforward. You follow the steps. We've got lots of step diagrams and things in the book.
Well, I mean, look on my little thing I've got here. Top tip! Exclamation mark!
I saw that before I came on. I was like, what's she going to say? What's she going to do?
But it is, and this was just on a very quick flick through the book. But here we go. This is the quilt here, and you get. Oh, hang on. I can't flick it over because I've got my finger on my sticky bit. So we'll talk about layouts in a minute. Step-by-step instructions. Watch the show back, but here you go. It's all very, very clear. Beautiful, beautiful. And it's all in there. Absolutely gorgeous. And then if you just, like we were saying, if you just want to start off with one to get yourself going, then make yourself the little lavender bag made in exactly the same way. I love it. Actually, do you know what? I might make one of those little lavender bags to then, if you ever have to store the quilt, wrap it in there with it so then it keeps it fresh.
That would be a really nice idea. So
Let's
your quilt
then
that you're making, if you didn't want to lay them out in the sort of the more traditional way then there's other ways you can lay these blocks out. And one of them is to stack them. And you can do...
Isn't it a completely different look?
It's a pretty versatile block. And also, if you're looking at this, we're looking at this, what I call their vertical. If we spin it so they're horizontal, I always think they look like bow ties.
Yes, that's what I was saying, wasn't it? It's your bow tie one.
Yeah, so you can do that with the block, or if you want to do something a little bit different, you can stagger them.
Ooh, hang on, let me take this one out from underneath so there's no confusion. We can get it in its full glory.
So in this way you can stagger them. You just go halfway. So you can see the half block here. And that gives you this sort of quite fluid. It just gives it a completely different look. Which
looks like a house of cards, you know, when they stack the house of cards like that.
Up. Yeah.
So my son's into building blocks, so this is a regular nightly occurrence. But isn't it funny? You have your own reference points as to what it looks like. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, all of these that you've seen here, these have all been made with the Eden collection. The other is your True Colours. Do you know what? Either way, whichever one you go for, it's going to be exquisite. The True Colours basically will give you a rainbow. You could do it in a full rainbow order, which would just be gorgeous. Yeah. But if you want these exotic palettes, go for the Eden.
Yeah, nice sort of, lots of textures there, and the True Colours. I do like the rainbow in that.
It's beautiful. And because you've got basically every colour in here, and the same with the True Colour, it's going to go in every environment. Yeah. Because you're going to find a colour that matches.
Absolutely.
Love, love, love it. Oh, this is excellent. Absolutely excellent. Now, do we want to touch on the binding? Not the binding, the actual quilting.
Yeah, on this particular one, you can machine quilt, you can hand quilt, you could tie it, whatever way you want to finish it with your quilting. I chose to do what they call big stitch quilting, so that's going to be using a thicker thread. It's more of a 12-weight thread, whereas I think a lot of people are familiar with what's on the machine, which is usually 50 weight.
Right, yeah.
And then the smaller the number, the thicker the thread's going to
get. It's sort of opposite of what you think it's going to be, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tricky. It's like with all those denier things and things like that. So why can't it all just be the same? So we've got fat thread, little number, and it means you can do hand quilting, and it means it can be faster because you're making bigger stitches. So actually it's growing quicker. I've used a real contrast here, but you could use a thread that, you know, sits in and sinks down, so you've got texture but not the stitches.
Or you can machine quilt. You know, it's entirely up to you. I love that you've hand stitched all of this, and the effect on the back is beautiful, but it is entirely up to you. Entirely up to you. Now, 8.5 meters of fabric, plus your jelly roll, plus your wadding, plus your book. 2.95 P&P.
That's pretty
For
good
all of
going,
that,
isn't it?
you can buy
Yeah.
10 of them, still only be 2.95 P&P. That would be a lot of quilting.
There'd be a lot of things for someone to deliver.
And a lot of fabric.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. It'll keep
Wow.
you going.
Absolutely beautiful. Let's have another look through this book because we've only touched upon where do you get your inspiration? I may as well make the most of having the author here. You know. Tell us exactly.
Most of the time, all the quilts that I make or plan or design, it always comes from antique quilts. So,
okay, going right back to the roots.
Right back. I really like old quilts and the antique quilts. So I spend a lot of time looking
In fact,
at those.
antique sewing machines as well.
Yeah, that's one of my sewing machines. Yeah, that actually does make the quilts sometimes.
It's gorgeous, I have to say.
So-
Is that a hand crank one?
No, sadly, I've got a hand crank one. You know, just when you haven't
Come
got
on,
that
how many
next-
sewing machines?
I've probably got, I don't
Is
know
it
whether I
rude to
should say that.
count?
I'm probably about 6 or 7.
That's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
That's not.
you know,
This is your livelihood.
I know, but
that's how
you
I
know,
like to justify
I think
it.
really you need one, and you need like at home, and then you need one for your workshop or
Yes,
backup,
yes,
and that's
yes.
a really good combination. One that's more portable, one that stays at home, that's perhaps bigger. But yeah, 6 or 7's it's a bit of an indulgence, isn't it? I suppose
Well,
it could
you
be
know,
worse.
some people like shoes. It's fine. Hilda says, "Hi all, loving the show. Can you please tell me what thread to use for hand quilting?" Hilda, we've just touched upon that. Let's just say again.
For the big stitch quilting here, I've used a cotton perlé, which is a thicker weight thread. It's a 12 weight thread. If you wanted to use the stranded embroidery thread, which is more common to get hold of, people often have that already, then what I would suggest is when you've got those 6 strands, you actually use probably 3 or 4, but you have to divide all the strands up first and then put them back together again.
Oh gosh.
Oh, which is all right. It's sort of worth it because you don't get little knots and bobbles.
Yeah, no,
So
the
if
other one's sounding
Yeah, if you
easier.
wanted to try out first and you've got some of that, give it a go. But otherwise, you're looking for a 12 weight thread, which often I use cotton
Are
perlé.
details like that in this book?
Yes, we cover that in here because I use all the techniques. I use a lot of hand techniques in the book for finishing of small projects. So yeah, we talk about that and the needles to use with that.
Now, here's the beautiful thing, because the other thing that I've noticed in the book, and this ties in with our next hour, because this is what we're making one of these in the next hour, so it's lovely that it all ties in together. So you're getting a book jam-packed full of ideas. So it might be that you want to do the spool, you might want to do any of the other projects in here. This is coming in your bundle. Let's have a look at what else you get in that bundle. Now, this is a limited stock bundle, so if you check out your basket, we've only got 3 left of this now.
Okay.
Yeah, very popular, but it is absolutely exquisite. Now, this is the one that we've been using today. This is your Eden one, absolutely gorgeous. That's $149.95. But the other one is the one that I think of as a rainbow. Look at that. Oh, look at that design roll. And it's got your dashwood fabric in there as well. So I would be tempted to make it into a rainbow. I do the spools in rainbow order.
Some of the
I'd have
girls
to.
really love the planning. I'm real scrappy. I'm real like, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll all go together. But I know if you just spend that extra bit of time just laying them out and planning, with that rainbow one, you can do a complete wash with that, which is just going to be stunning.
Yeah.
Absolutely
yes.
stunning.
Oh, Carolyn, we've got 10 seconds. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. It goes like that, doesn't it?
It
But
goes
you
really
are back
fast.
with some K facets in an hour.
Yes. In
And
an
your
hour.
book. We will see you then. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for The Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more. The Sewing Quarter website is simple and easy to use. You can view a live broadcast of the show on our homepage. Get instant access to our online shop, which has a wide range of wonderful products for you to choose from. You can also enjoy a selection of projects and guides which we have on offer to help you enhance your skills and gain valuable tips. Watch the live shows and you can buy the product which is currently being shown on air. You can even message the studio to ask our presenters or team any questions you might have. Below, you'll find all the products from today's show for you to look at and purchase. On the right of the screen, next to today's products, you will find our simple program guide listing all upcoming shows. So, join us today at sewingquarter.com. Join us on Wednesday the 31st of May when we welcome back the lovely Jo Carter, who will be debuting her brand new soft toy. Designed exclusively for Sewing Quarter, Jo will be demonstrating how you can make this amazing robot. The kit includes a 16-page instruction booklet with templates, and you can choose from 4 different colourways, or make them all. So, make sure you join Jo and her brand new robot soft toy at 8 a.m, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
Did you know there are multiple ways you can contact us, even if it's just to ask a question? Our friendly team are always on standby. You can call our customer service team at 0800 112 4433, email us at help@sewingquarter.com, visit our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter at Sewing Quarter, and even message us through our website, and our presenters will answer your questions live on air. Join us on the 29th of May when Jess Entwistle shows you the perfect way to get organised with the delightful new home project. This hanging organiser is perfect for storing all your bedroom bits and pieces, but then it could be used in any room of the house as it's easily hung up. There are 3 different colourways available, which feature a pretty print for the pockets, binding and a plain coordinating fabric for the backing. The kit comes complete with full instruction booklet, so you can get started straight away. So join Jess on Monday the 29th of May at 9 a.m, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78. Welcome back. Today is today's Quilter Takeover Day. So we've got today's Quilter magazine for you on special. So if you'd like £1 off this and you'd like to get this edition here with your free binding clips there, grab it for £4.99. Pop it in your basket, BCIE02. Nice. Our very own Joy is in here. You've got a little interview in there, haven't you, Joy? We'll see Joy in just one moment. I'm going to talk you through the fabrics that we're using. The way that our system works is when you go onto the website and watch us live, underneath will come up. Firstly, you can message the studio. Always lovely to hear from you. But underneath there will be the list of all the fabrics and all of the bundles and all of the things that we've shown on the shows. So you'll have that as a quick reference. So I'm going to, as soon as I show you these fabrics, they will then go onto the website. So I'm going to go very, very quickly through these because we're going to use these fabrics on the Creative Grids Masterclass, which is what this hour is all about. Yes. Let's start over here. This is, you know what we keep saying about these planes that just make everything else pop? Here it is. This is your red. This is Christmas red. It is a lovely shade, isn't it? £3.25 per half a metre. Pop that in. Now, Dashwood. This is the only Dashwood fabric that we've got in this bundle today, but it works. It works an absolute treat. Okay, so we've got this one in here as well. We'll get the details up for you in just a moment. Remember, our material here, unless stated otherwise, by the half metre. So this is your Dash fabric in black from Heartwood. And this is, oh, sorry, it isn't Dashwood, is it? It's by Macawa. It's the Dash fabric, not Dashwood. £5.45 per half a metre of that. Now, let's have a look, because now we're moving into all of these are Scandinavian style from a Scandinavian collection. Absolutely love it. This is your lace design here. This is your lace in grey. Gorgeous. £5.95 per half a metre. Absolutely love it. Next to it is the red. So this is your lace in red. And you're going to see how these quilt so beautifully. So soft as well. It's just stroking it. It's lovely. There it is. £5.95 again for that. Now maybe you want, oh look, your hearts, your little hearts. These are beautiful. And actually, it's this sort of print that you see little hearts made out of. It is one of those classics. Absolutely love this one. So £5.95 again for your little hearts.
we'll find the details for those. There you, oh, $4.95. Ooh, this is your check red fabric by Makawa. Now, the next one are your red hearts. It's a lot of love this hour, isn't there? A lot of love. So this is your, and this is, again, this is your Scandi, all the same reds coming through here. Absolutely gorgeous. And again, you've got kind of a linen effect in the background here as well. That's the red version. Then we've got the grey version. And of course, the red and the grey, they're your classic, aren't they? Your Scandi colours. Very, very on trend at the moment. Absolutely beautiful. And this is your grey hearts. It's just the detailing in there. There's kind of a folky feel as well, I think, with these. Really lovely. And then we move on to the stars. Now, when we first looked at this, this is your grey star. Very lovely. Very delicate little star in there. But again, you've got that, there's a texture in the background of the fabric there as well. So $4.95 for your Scandi Basics. This is your mini grey star fabric. And then we've got it in a red as well. So whether you're going for a red palette, a grey palette, it's entirely up to you. I'm going to guess that's going to be $4.95 per half a metre again. That's my guess. $4.95, there we go, LRMY 62. Now, we gave, and I'm going to wander over to here, Joy, look at this is what you did with them. We gave you these fabrics and went, nah, have a bit of fun, chucked in a ruler from Creative Grids, sort of shut you in a room and said, get on with it. And this is what you made.
I did.
Beautiful. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back. Now, that's a Dresden plate.
It is. Yes. It is. Two ways. Two different Dresden plates.
Ooh. Shall we have a look? Have you got it in there?
Ooh.
Can we see it in its
You can see.
in the flesh?
There we go.
Look at
this
that.
is the first one.
Dresden plate two ways. One has points, one has rounded edges.
Yes, and we'll look at that one in
It's
a little while.
classic, isn't it? Absolute
Yeah,
classic.
Yeah, definitely.
We've just seen in the other hour a beautiful book by Carolyn Forster. She's got a whole quilt made out of these.
I saw it.
Beautiful.
I was having a little
So
look.
once you know how to do this, you can do that.
Absolutely.
Nice. Now, the tool that you used for this is Creative Grids. Love, love, love Creative Grids.
Yes.
Now, you get a bundle in here because you get the sort of triangle-y bit and then you get your circle-y bit for the middle bit. Very descriptive.
Is that as technical as we're going to get this hour?
It's as technical as I'm getting, and then I've got a guest and expert you. You can get as technical as you like.
Don't you lay it all on me.
Oh, I will, and you know it. Now, my first thing to say to you, when you get your Creative Grids, it comes with this. It's all sort of packaged up. There we go. And you might think it's just packaging, throw it in the bin. Never throw this in the bin. When you get Creative Grids, never, ever, ever throw this in the bin. You'll know it's Creative Grids because you've got your little fox, which is the sign of Leicester. It's a Leicestershire-based company. It's got the sign of the fox. Family company. Love that fact. Very lovely family. And here we go. This here are your instructions. I detect a little bit of highlighting.
I was just going to say it doesn't come with the highlighting.
No,
you have to do that
would have to come with Joy. And front and back with the instructions. So this gives you the instructions. If you have a mobile phone, all singing, all dancing, fancy smancy mobile phone that has a QR reader, scan that in, and that will take you to lots of videos that shows you how to do this. Or watch Joy again.
Yes.
That's easier. If you don't have, and great. So, Joy, you got this.
I did.
You got your highlighter. What were you highlighting? Whoops. Knock over the desk. Got excited.
Okay. So I had a little look at this to see what information we've got on here. The first thing I noticed, which is really good, is it gives you lots of different sizes.
Now, this can go up to a 20 or a 21-inch finished plate.
That's right.
That's big.
That's huge. That's huge.
Oh, that's like that could be like the central piece. Hang on.
Yes.
20.
Yeah.
That's the central piece of your quilt.
Yes.
Then you could do whatever you wanted on the
if
edge.
you want to do a medallion quilt, start off with this and then build your rows up.
And so you've got two options here. You can do pointy or curvy.
Or you can mix them and have half and half.
Oh, look at you getting all Technical and brilliant.
Yes.
Okay.
So I like the fact that it's got all those sizes. So if I know what size block I want to make, it will then tell me what size Dresden plate I need to make.
Or it'll just be a wonderful surprise.
Or it could be a wonderful surprise. Or a bit of a shock if it doesn't fit, on the floor. We won't go there. Okay. then it's got...
Some of my best makes have come out of a dreadful error.
Me too, actually. Me too. Yeah. It's a design opportunity.
Yes, no errors, design opportunities. Yes. Right, okay.
Then we've got cutting instructions for cutting each of these individual segments.
Okay.
So it tells you how to cut them.
Nice and clear, good.
Nice and clear, and basically you just cut a strip of fabric the appropriate size, and then you work from the strip, which we'll look at in a minute. Then it tells you how to make them into pointy ones, how to make them into round ones, and how to do the central circle to finish off. So everything you need is actually there.
Now we've got to motor through this, haven't we, today? Because we've got
a
two
lot
different grids to get through for you. It's our masterclass. Yeah. So what's next? Where do we start?
We're going to start off with
ta-da! Pretty fabric.
Yep, some strips of fabric. I've just got a couple here.
So this is that a 6-inch strip?
Right, this is going to be a 5.5 inch.
Oh, 5.5. Oh, because far off.
That's what I decided to do.
There you go.
Now, you can cut these more than one at a time, because each one of these takes 20 segments.
Right.
So there's quite a bit of cutting to do. But if you choose your fabrics as well, if you look at that one, you can see I chose 4 different fabrics.
Nice.
So I needed...
They look gorgeous, by the way.
I love these. I love this colour palette. So
I'm going to steal this for a second, and I'm going to see if I can work out. So, size of cut segment, I'm going to go down to 5.5 inches. That's what you've cut. Which, if I go across here, is going to give me a finished size of plate 13.5 inches, and my finished block size will be a 15-inch.
Exactly.
So these are so clear, even I can use them.
Yeah. So all you've got to do is cut your background 15.5 to allow for your seam allowances, and then we know that's going to fit on nicely.
Because it does say finished block size, so you know to add in your seam allowance.
Right,
awesome. What do we do? Okay. Do you need that, by the way?
We'll just keep it there. You might want to just check in case I do anything wrong.
I'm going to check up on you. Don't
it could happen. It could happen.
Actually, just one last thing.
Do you know what I need?
I
need a rotary cutter. Here we go.
Look, these are the different ways in which you can use it as well. So it even gives you design options.
Yes. Because what you can do, you don't have to make a whole plate. You can just make that little fan shape as well.
So you could do that as your central piece and then just have that in the corners.
Yes.
And then you could do a border with the teeth.
You could.
I'm sure it's got a technical term. It's probably not called teeth. Sounds a bit aggressive.
It's probably, well, it's sort of a sawtooth, but it's not quite.
Sort of a what?
Sawtooth. S-A-W, tooth. Sawtooth.
Oh, sawtooth, not like, ouch, get me to a dentist.
No. I'm going to go back to the cutting. Shall I cut on this one? I think it might show up better for the camera, because red's always funny. So we've got our strip. I say you can layer it up 2, 3, 4 at a time, whatever you're comfortable with. Gosh. Now, on here, we've got all the different markings.
Yes.
Okay. And we've got 2 markings on here. You've got the sizes down here, and you've got the circles, and it tells you in there what you're following. Okay. So I've cut a 5.5 inch strip, so you'll see that I've got 5.5 in my little circle there, which is going to line up on here. Nice. Now I'm going to use my
trusty spinny mat. We haven't got many of these left. If you want it, please grab it quickly. It's already on the website. No, you can't have this because Joy will not be parted from it. Something to note, something of note, and I'm just going to grab this one to show you very quickly. Creative Grids is set apart in my mind from other manufacturers for one reason. Well, many actually, but one particular reason. And that's these. These are embedded non-slip grip. So it's not like sometimes you get rubbery bits that can drop off or whatever. This is embedded. It's almost like you've got kind of like a gritty, sandy bit. It's like, you know, in kitchens, in professional kitchens. I don't know, I've worked in, I used to...
Carry on.
Yeah. Then they often have that non-slip flooring. It's a bit like that, but in a ruler. Yes. So that it doesn't matter how small a piece of fabric you're working to, it's not going to grip. And for me, as a beginner cutter with a rotary cutter, beginner rotary cutterer, I want that extra security.
Yeah.
So sometimes you think paying that little bit extra for such a brilliant tool, oh, it's an extravagance. No,
well
for me,
worth it.
this is a necessity because I'm not going to lose my nerve, I'm not going to get upset, I'm not going to waste fabric, I'm going to get a perfect cut every time.
Absolutely. And they put them on all of their rulers, whatever size.
Yeah, they
shape
do, absolutely,
are. So
absolutely, on
there.
all of them. And that's how you're going to know this is part of this kit.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I've cut my strip according to the size that I needed it to be.
Mm-hmm. 5.5 inch. Yeah.
Line it up. And then I'm just going to trim along the edge here.
This is the beauty of this rotating mat, isn't it? Is you are always cutting away from yourself.
Yes, and I'm just going to rotate it round till I get to the place. I'm not disturbing the fabric, I'm not disturbing the ruler. Everything's exactly still where it was. And then I can come in and cut up this way. And I always take away the piece that I'm cutting off first, because then if I haven't quite got everything, I haven't got to move it, I can go back in and cut it away.
Yes.
Otherwise you've got to try and reline it up and stuff like that. So that's how easy it is to cut your sections.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
So we do that however many times we need to do to get the number that we want.
Couple that Joy's done here.
Yes.
How many did we say we needed for? Was it 20? Did you say
20,
to go all the way round?
So 4 fabrics. So you need 5 of each.
You put the in order as well.
Yes. Well, I cut them in order.
Oh.
I layered the 4 fabrics up and cut them. So then, hey ho. So then when you've that one's gone a bit pants. Oh, that's twice today.
Oh, Joy.
Right.
Joy.
It's a phrase I use all the time. I shall have to find a new phrase. Okay, so when you've got them all cut out like this, then you can put them in whatever order you wanted them to go in, so that they go around like that.
Oh, look
and
at
then
that.
they'll just keep repeating.
Doesn't that
round.
fabric work really nicely? It's a softness, isn't it? It's not your stark monochrome black and white.
No.
But you said earlier this is one of your favourite combinations. Is that soft grey, that linen-y off-white, and this isn't a hard black. This is a soft sort of charcoaly black in there as well.
Yeah, it's almost
gorgeous.
like it's not even a grey. It's sort of somewhere in the middle. Very classic, classic lines. Always looks stunning. Certain combinations always work.
Just always work.
And this
Absolutely,
is one that
it
does.
is. Most popular fabric today is this one. Is the grey. I love this. I love this. We had this on a cushion yesterday that we were showing. It wasn't one that we were making. It was just one that had already been made. It was absolutely exquisite. $5.95 per half a metre. Just gorgeous. That's the lace. Beautiful.
Okay, so now we've got our segments.
Yes,
but they haven't got points.
No, they haven't.
So we need to give them points.
Yes.
Okay. So the way that we give these points is we take one and we fold it in half along the length like this. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of a press so I can see where that is. And then you take it to your machine and you sew a 1/4 inch seam.
Okay, all right, okay.
So we're just going to take that to the machine and stitch it down.
Okay.
And because we've got a lot to do, we can just chain piece them and you end up with like a little bit of...
It looks like bunting.
Mini bunting.
Bizarre back to front bunting.
Back to front bunting. Yeah. But we can do that. Okay. So then, when we've got these, we can snip them apart. I'm going to trim off where the folded bit is. I'll use the little scissors for this. So just where that fold is there, I'm just going to trim that little piece away like that, just to stop any bulk building up. Then we're going to turn it inside out.
Ah, excellent. Okay.
And then when we've got it turned inside out, we can just pop the point up.
Oh yeah, always careful how you do that. I get a little bit heavy-handed sometimes and go through the fabric.
I've got a little plastic poking thing at home that I use.
We've got a knitting needle somewhere.
It's a bit big.
12 knitting needle. There we go. Oh, Jackie's messaged in. Hello, Jackie. She's in Greater London today. She says, thank you for great shows. They are entertaining and I've learned so much.
That's great. If people are learning, that's all we can ask for. Yes.
Happy days, thank you. That's really kind.
Indeed.
Oh, Sue, hello.
Oh, another one.
Hi. How do you stop the cut pieces fraying? Good question.
If you don't handle them too much, they won't fray.
Okay.
But if you're worried about it, we had that Best Press
Yes, we
spray on
did.
earlier.
Yes, we did.
Just put a bit of that on. That'll help to set the fibres and help to stop it fraying.
There's still some stock of that actually. It's $4.95 per thing. And you know what we were saying about all the shopping list from everything we've had on the shows on the website, where
Still
you
there.
click on watch, and then at the bottom of that is where everything is that we've had on the shows. Clear as mud, that, isn't it? Great description.
I understood it.
You know what you mean, yeah. Oh, there we go. We can show you.
Can we show
Look
this?
at this. Yeah, we've
up?
got the technology. It's producer Paul is absolutely on fire.
It's
with his
definitely
new
those trainers, isn't it? Yeah.
New trainers. Then there you go. There's your Best Press in the middle there. So that, and then there's all the fabrics, so you can pick and choose whichever ones your heart desires.
And I like the lavender one because I like the smell of it. So. But
Me too.
But there we go. So we're going to fold it, press our little pointy bit out, and then if you just line up the seam that you stitched on that press line, and then you press the sides open, there you have your
Yay!
pointy little vein.
You could make a tie like that, couldn't you?
You could. Big kipper
Brilliant.
ties.
Brilliant. Now, for $20.95, this is what we're using. This is your creative grids for making your Dresden plate, and also your sawtooth.
Sawtooth.
Is what we decided.
Yes.
Not saw as in ouch,
No.
saw as in type saw. Needs a bit of oiling. It's fine.
It doesn't.
So this is what you get to. I'm wearing like the worst top for you to see that. But you get the round one so you can do the centre bit, and then you get this natty little tool, which can make you, end up making you a finished Dresden plate of 21 inches. Yowd!
Or you could go right down as small as
a little 6.5 inch one. You can make an itty bitty one. That's what it's making. You can either do pointy or curvy.
Yes, and we're still doing the pointy. So,
Yes. Does it have a technical name for that or not?
No, I don't think so. Just a Dresden plate with
We've
pointy.
got 10 minutes on this one.
Oh,
and then moving on to another.
Oh, for goodness. Well, we'll just do it as we go. So get your pointy ones, pop them together in order, and then all you're going to do is stitch them together. Now, my tip for this is if you always make sure that those top edges absolutely match, if by any chance the bottoms don't quite match up, that doesn't matter because it's going to be underneath the circle.
You're going to stick a circle in
But
it,
if you don't match these top bits, they're going
it's
to look very
knowing
ugly.
where it matters,
Yes.
isn't it? And that's a great top tip from Joy.
Yep.
Perfect.
And then
Oh, look, there it is.
sew them together. Sew them together in pairs.
Oh, okay, right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then sew them into 4s.
Yep.
And then into 8s and keep going.
Excellent.
And just bear in mind that you can only have 360 degrees in a circle.
Yes.
Which means that if when you come to lay it down flat, it's not lying flat, it means that one or two of your seams isn't quite accurate enough. And usually if you go back and look on the other side, you'll be able to spot that one or other of them is a little bit wobbly or a bit now. So,
bit drunk.
a bit drunk. So all you need to do is just go back in and reseam it.
Okay.
And then it'll come flat. Once you've got it flat, onto here, then you need to pin or tack it into place. I've just stitched mine down. I like to stitch mine a 1/4 inch away from the edge, so I get this little flappy bit.
A little bit of lift.
I like a little bit of flappy bits going on. Just gives it a bit of texture. And then the circular one.
Yeah. Now, how do we do the circular bits?
Okay, different ways you can do this.
Okay.
We could just pop this on here. We could draw around it, cut it out with scissors. We could pop it on here, and if we've got the small rotary cutter.
We've got an 18mm one on the website for you, so I think it's still in stock, so you can check out the website for that. Yeah,
we couldn't find that, could we? But you can use the big one. It's just a little bit cumbersome. So the smaller one's much better. Then when you've got your circular fabric, it depends how you want to applique it down. If you're just going to needle turn it, then you just place it down, pop some pins in and needle turn it as you go along. You could, if you've got a little bit of high-tech scrappy card lying around.
Steady on with the old cereal packet.
Yep.
After you finished your porridge.
Yep. What you do is stitch a little seam, a little stitch all the way around the edge, place it on and pull it so it pulls over. And then you've got your ready prepared circle to pop on and stitch down.
Now, we've thought of it in the past about maybe making some of these for children, if you're making a baby's quilt, in which case we thought that actually sometimes you could always put some little stuffing, put a bit of relief in there, or a little squeak if it's for a little baby.
Squeak.
And you want, one of the little squeaks so that they want to play and touch.
As long as it's a child-safe squeak.
Yeah, oh no, obviously,
But yes, you could do.
All sorts of different things that you could do. But this is beautiful. It's a classic, isn't it? It's gorgeous.
And also, depending which circle you put in the middle, if you look at that one, and then if I place that one on the top, it changes the look of the block. Because what it does, it pulls out the different veins.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So sometimes it's worthwhile making 2 or 3 of these in the different fabrics and seeing which one you actually want to use.
Producer Paul says, can't you just Velcro different ones on?
He's got no soul, has he?
He wants every option. I kind of salute that.
You could, but it'd all come off in the wash, wouldn't it? But yeah, you could. But yeah, it's worth trying it. And if you're worried about the amount of bulk, you can, if you want to, separate these out and then just cut away the backing on the inside as well.
Okay, yeah.
And that saves you a piece of fabric as well, which is probably more important than worrying about the bulk.
Save the fabric, save the fabric.
Save the fabric.
Beautiful.
So that's it for the pointy one.
You've got 5 minutes to show us the roundy one then. Can we do that? No problem.
We can do anything.
We have the technology. We have this, which is your Creative Grids non-slip Dresden plate ruler. Now, this was designed, actually, we should say about this. This was designed by Lynn Edwards, MBE.
Absolutely.
Who's MBE for services to quilting.
Yes. Yeah, how fab is that?
Isn't that brilliant?
I think so.
And she writes children's books. She does all sorts.
And she's a lovely lady as well.
Which is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
This is the nice thing about Creative Grids, is that obviously they're a family company, but they get experts in to design other ones. So the one that we're about to work with after this is designed by Rachel Cross, who's the daughter of the family. But this obviously designed by Lynn Edwards. But let you see, you've got all your other versions.
Yep.
Nice. Right, I need to stop waffling and you need to...
Yes,
okay, because we've got 2 to get through today.
Yeah, that's okay. The other one won't take quite as long, so we're okay. So again, with this one then, we've got these little scalloped edges going along. We need to turn it the other way around because the hearts are upside down. There we go, that's better. So you start off exactly the same way and cut your wedges.
Yes.
Exactly the same way. And then you take them and you fold them in half.
So far this is exactly the same as we did the other ones.
Yes, but this time I'm going to use my circle because on here we've got these crosshair lines.
Yes.
So we're going to set one of those up on the folded edge.
Right.
And we're going to knock it right up till it reaches the top. And then we're going to trim it off. Again, if you've got your smaller one. Yeah, this one might struggle a bit to get round. Let's see if we can do it. Yes, we can do it. We can do it. So then you knock that off and then you've got your rounded shape.
There. Oh, it's done.
It's there. And here's another one. So then once you've got these, again, it's a case of sewing them all together. And then at some point, you need to decide what you're going to do about these edges.
Yes.
Okay? Because you could just needle turn them under by hand as you go along. Okay? I tend to do something slightly different. I get a piece of non-fusible interfacing. I put my interfacing down. I don't really think I can use. Let me grab something. Yeah, this will do. This will do. Oh, I've even got circles on that one. So we won't use that one with circles on. But if you imagine this is my interfacing, I place them down like this, and then I stitch 1/4 of an inch
Oh, right.
And then I can turn the interfacing over to get it faced.
Okay, right. What happens if you just stitch that down a 1/4 of an inch and let it fray and get that texture? Is that okay to do too?
That's absolutely fine. Or you could blanket stitch it or satin stitch it round.
Lots of options.
When you're appliquing things down, it's whatever you feel comfortable doing.
I
Lots
like
of
this.
choices.
There's no right or wrong way.
No.
You know, with things like maths and science, there's right and there's wrong. But as soon as it's creative,
yeah,
it's up to you. It's your taste, isn't it?
And again,
oh yeah. Without. Let's
with
do
and
it.
without again.
Yeah.
Yes.
With.
It's like an eyesight test, isn't it?
I know. Yeah. Which do you see first?
The other
look
thing
at the strong line.
And the other thing you can do with this fabric is you can fussy cut it if you wanted to. You've got
I
that little
noticed
heart
you'd
in the
done
middle.
that. It's
not quite in the middle, but
Joy. There we go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's it for 2 Dresden plates out of 1 template set.
Bishity bish bash bosh, £20.95. VLCQ32. This is a natty piece of kit.
Yeah. And if
Very
you wanted
natty.
to swap some of your pointy ones, you know, so all these dark ones were pointy and the rest were scallop, you can do a mixture.
Ah, lovely. Beautiful. I'm going to go and show you the fabric because, you know, have Dresden plate templates need material to make gorgeous things with. Right. Let's start with the most popular, which I'm going to guess is the grey. Grey lace, is it, Producer Paul? That's where my money is. Yeah, grey. I'm not surprised. Absolutely love this. Isn't that pretty? It's just one of those. But we've made. I mean, this is a cotton fabric that you can dressmate with this. We made we've made all sorts out of these. In fact, out of the grey heart, we made a pencil skirt, didn't we? We made all sorts. So this is a lovely fabric just to have in your stash, whether you're Dresden plating or not. Absolutely gorgeous. Patricia, I'm going to answer your message when I get back over there with Joy. Bear with us. Now, next one. Scanty in the Red Stars is next. Now, you see, this is a classic. I love this. And this is going to look great. This is great for kids' bedrooms as well. You can mix that one through. So this is a very popular one. £4.95 by the ½ metre. There, look at that. Lovely. You can see the texture in the background now as well. Isn't that lovely? Really good. I like that a lot. But what I also discovered is on the website you can sort of hover over it and it will give you that. Nice. What else do we want to look at, Producer Paul? Which one next? Oh, the dash fabric and back. This is a lovely one to mix in. If you're quilting and you want that dark, we talked the other day about bringing in different tones. This is your dark. So £5.45 per ½ metre again. You can have it coming down as rain or you can have it going across. It's up to you, however you want to use it. QIMY58 for that. Now, if you want just a plain solid, then of course you've got your Christmas red. That is out of our Spectrum Solids range, which is just £3.25 per ½ metre. Works. Let's go Scandi red. Which one? Hearts. Your classic Scandi heart. Really lovely. Move a few things around so that you can see. Oh yeah. And again, you've got that textured background as well. Really nice. It's almost got a folky feel, isn't it, with the flowers within the hearts. £5.95 per ½ metre. JDMY 13. Beautiful. Now, Scandi check. Oh, this is another classic, isn't it? It's beautiful, isn't it? Really, really lovely. This is your classic. In fact, I'm pretty sure, you know, you can get sort of little hearts that you hang up in your window, sort of in. I'm pretty sure I've got one very similar to this. It's beautiful. So it's just a modern take on a check with the hearts in there. £4.95. GWMY 53. Lovely. Now, we promised you this hour a Creative Grids Masterclass. We've done Dresden plate. Tick, done. But look at this. Dun, dun, dun. Love this. What's this called, Joy?
This one is just a star.
Just a star?
It's an 8-pointed star.
How could it be just a star?
But again, 2 ways.
Oh, fab. Now, we promised to help Patricia out.
Right, what's the question?
Patricia says,
yes,
just making 4.5-inch blades, not joining in
flat at the end.
Not joining flat at the ends. What am I doing wrong?
It's probably just down to seam allowances. Just check your cuttings accurate.
Yeah.
And if the cutting's accurate, when they come together, when you get them to sort of the 2/2 stage, you should see a nice straight line. But yeah, it does tend to rip up. But just check. The quilting machine must go right to the very end of the point of the vein.
Right.
And people often think they've got to shy away, that they need to leave it there, but just check that all the way down.
So it's about that accuracy of that quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
So Patricia, give it a go.
Have another go.
Have a go.
Have another go.
Now,
okay.
I like to think of this as the Crocodile Dundee one.
Okay.
After our conversation this morning, that is what is now ingrained in my brain.
Is this
Show
now
us
officially
why. Yeah.
the Crocodile Dundee?
It's the weirdest of shapes. But you said to me, do you remember in Crocodile Dundee when he takes the top off the car and whoosh, throws it down the alleyway? It's this. Yeah. Well, it's not that, but that's what it reminds us of. It's actually Creative Grids. I don't know if it was inspired by Crocodile Dundee or not, who knows? But that's how I'm going to think of it now. This is your multi-size 2 peaks.
Yes, 2 peaks in one.
2 peaks in one, no crocodiles at all.
No crocodiles were hurt.
£20 and 95 pence. I wouldn't even know where to start. Look at it, it's amazing. What do I do with it? I don't know.
It's a bit of a beast, isn't it?
Oh, look, hang on, it's got some ideas on here as to what you can do. Already, before I even start, I'm being inspired.
Yes.
Look at that. Yeah. So, I've got all sorts of different bits. Oh, there you go, there's another one down there. And again, if I want to if I've got a QR reader on my phone, just scan that in. It's going to take me to tutorials. Creative Grids, I know because I've got my little foxy there on my non-slip grip.
Yes.
Now that non-slip grip is brilliant. It's embedded in. You'll notice the non-slip grip goes all the way down the side. So no matter how small, and you can see the strip sizes that it's giving you there, no matter how small that strip, you've got a non-slip grip encasing it, so it's not going to move. If you're going uber diddly fiddly tiddly widdly, then you don't, sometimes your fabric can move and then you waste it or
It's also got it all around the edge of this one as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's all the way around.
All the way around.
It's always going to give you that real good protection. Now, again, do not throw away the instructions.
That's right.
It's easy to do because it just looks like packaging, but actually lots of information.
To rip it all rip off all the plastic and stuff. So again,
did you get excited and by any chance?
Yeah, when I ripped it out the pack, I thought, oops.
I need that. Quick, sellotape it back together again. Oh, so do as Joy says, not as she did.
Don't just go.
But it's easily done. But you see, there you go. Save the instructions.
Save the instructions. So again, on here, it's telling you about choosing your finished size. And again, we're working from a strip of fabric.
Yes.
So nice and straightforward to do. And all your cutting instructions are on here for both sides of it, and also a little tip around trimming off, which I'll show you, and how to put it together. So all the information you need is on there.
That's very clever.
So we're going to cut out for another star.
Okay.
Another star. Okay. So I'm going to, this time my star is going to be in this red hearts.
Okay.
I think. I could be wrong. It could be the grey lace that's going to be in the middle.
Who knows?
The grey lace is going to be the star. This is going to be
somewhere.
Yeah, there's going to be a star on there somewhere. So again, looking on here, if you follow it down, it'll tell you what size your finished block is going to be and what size strip you need to cut. Now for this, the finished size of the block is actually this little centre square here. Do I need to bring that a bit further forward? There we go. There we go. So this part here, this is what we're talking about. So if this is a 5-inch finished square, then we need to follow our 5-inch finished square size on here.
Right.
And it tells me to cut a 5.5-inch strip.
It wants you to succeed, doesn't it, this grid?
Absolutely. It's all there ready to go. So I'm just going to line it up on that bottom line, and we haven't got a point at the top of the triangle.
Yeah.
We've knocked that off. That's just to make it much easier to join together and to line things up.
It comes like that. We didn't just like chop it off because we didn't want it. It comes like that. This is the joy of creative grids.
Yeah.
They really know their quilting. So if it's not necessary, they won't put it in there. Those little doggy ear end bits, they try wherever possible just to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. This particular one designed by Rachel Cross herself, daughter of the creators of Creative Grids.
Yes.
Lovely family.
Yes.
Nice. John, who likes to give, our other presenter, who likes to give names to everybody.
Yes.
In fact, I think he was the one that christened Munch Munch, our floor manager for today. He just calls her Rachel Ruler.
Rachel Ruler.
Yeah.
As long as she's happy to be called Rachel Ruler, that's
I don't think
fine.
she has a choice. No. Once John gets it in his head, that's it.
Perhaps I won't ask what he calls me. It's probably better not to know.
Actually, I don't know.
John, if you're watching, what do you call me? That's what.
Keep it clean, John.
But yes. Okay. So I've lined it up, ready on here, and I can now just cut up the side here. Mm-hmm. And again.
Oh, spin.
Yeah, spin your
Loving
roller.
this mat today. Well, every day, to be fair, but today particularly very useful.
I came without it the one day.
What?
And we had people messaging in to say, where's the rotating
Joy, where's your
mat?
rotating spinny mat?
So we had to go and find it. Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
This is going to be made so easy by the Creative Grid. I mean, it's such a funny looking thing, isn't it? Just so strange. But I think we're going to see how this is so useful. Oh, you need it, then you?
Well, it's useful. So, having cut this one, I just spin the ruler around. I don't turn it over, just spin it around.
Well, no, you never have to turn it over, because as soon as you turn it over, you would lose that non-slip grip, which is what Creative Grids are so well known for, is this excellent attention to detail, this fabulous manufacturing.
So then turn it round, line it back up again on the side and there. And then we can just keep going all the way along the strip till we get as many of these as we need.
Okay.
So this is going to be the centre part.
So your start is going to be out of the grey lace.
Correct.
Ha-ha.
I knew I'd get there in the end.
Yeah, no, great.
So, talking of the grey lace.
The grey lace, here
we
is,
have
it makes
some
an
grey
appearance.
lace. Okay.
Love this.
Again, back to the ruler. So we've used this side, and this gives us our big chunk. We need to turn it round. We're going to use the other part of the ruler. And it's worth just mentioning this funny little cut-out circle here.
Yeah, I know that's going to be really clever for something I don't know what.
Yeah. What it means is,
I have an idea actually. But
have you got an idea? When you're cutting, if you need to cut right to the end, then you've got space for the rotary blade
it
to
is
go
what
into.
I thought. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Excellent.
So it's really useful. Again,
attention to detail again, isn't it? And as well, if you see, even all around there, you've got that non-slip grip. It's in See, it's all the way around there. It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yes. So, again, we've got similar markings on here. So, again, we want to look for our 5-inch finished size block, read across, 5.5-inch strip again. This time, we're going to line it up.
So the black is giving you the finished size.
Yes, that's the finished size.
And the white is giving you the size that it actually is, that 5.5 inch.
It tells you to cut the 5.5 inch. It actually says the word strip after it, just to make it absolutely clear. So having got this lined up on the bottom and on here, again, we've got no pointy bits to worry about at the top. That's gone as well. So now we can do this. So there's our first one. Now we can turn it round.
Now this is where that funny little keyhole-y bit
is going
to come into its own.
So line it all up again. So I can go right into there. Otherwise I'd be hitting.
Well, you'd have to be getting your scissors out and moving things around and trying to stick, and it would just take away from that accuracy. We want accuracy.
Now, So that gives us 2 of these, but the problem is when we come to put them onto here, this one's not the right way round.
No, Joy, what's happened?
We need to have mirror images.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the easiest way to get a mirror image is to fold your fabric either right sides together or wrong sides together. It doesn't matter. And then if we cut out again, come down to our 5-inch marking.
So as long as you're comfortable with cutting through 2 layers of fabric, you're good to go.
Yeah. So now we get our mirror images, and this will go in the centre.
Perfect.
Right round. Okay. Now the reason for these squared off ends comes into play because when we come to, let me just get this the right way round. When we come to line it up, if we've got a point on here at the moment, okay. But if we look at the ruler and if we look at the instructions on here, it tells us we've got this sort of chopped off corner. So we need to line this up so that we can cut our corner off.
Gosh, that's so clever.
It is if I can get it the right way round. I can't do it upside down.
No, do it the way that you need to do it. This is the thing with Creative Grids. They really understand quilting. They understand your needs. Yeah. You've watched me come a cropper, haven't you, trying to put things together and work out which way that extra half an inch needs to go. It's sorted for you here, which is absolutely brilliant. They just get it, they understand, and it just makes such a difference. It's a joy to... No pun intended, sorry. It's an absolute joy to work with. £20.95. Double joy. Double joy. What could be better? Yes. UPCQ 76. Oh, because we've done 2 different rulers.
If you have the magazine as well, that's quadruple. Oh, that's too many joys in one go, isn't it?
Much joy.
Too much. So, we've cut this out. Now, if we move this up...
look at that.
So that the baseline is on the base of our triangle.
Oh, it even says baseline.
Yeah, and this is on the side. Yeah. We've got this little bit of fabric here.
We don't need that, Joy.
We don't need that.
Simply get rid of it.
So we're going to chop it off just like that. So now...
Is this all going to line up and be beautiful?
Hopefully it will all line up and be beautiful. So if I put this over on top of here now...
Oh, look, there it is. Perfect.
Oh, going. So then that lines up right at the top there, and when you stitch your 1/4 inch seam, it will come over, and it will come over nice and flat.
It's setting you up for success.
Yes.
I don't know on the market if there's anything else like this. I don't know. I'm sure there are probably other Dresden plates and things like that. But what I would say about this is you get what you pay for. You get incredible quality. You get a really well thought out piece of kit with any of the Creative Grids that you work with. You get that non-slip. I think that's patented to them as well. The non-slip grip. And you get the little spots of non-slip grip as well. You get it all around the outside, and then you get it in the non-slip grip spots throughout it as well. They are brilliantly thought out. They want you to succeed. You've got the finished inch side one, and then you'll get the one size in one colour, and then you get your add a 1/2 inch on the other. It's just such a clever piece of kit. Whichever one you go for, whether you go to the Dresden plate we had in the first half hour, or whether you're going for this, your 2 peaks. I'd like to call it twin peaks.
Twin peaks.
Yes. £20.95. UPCQ 76, designed by Rachel Cross, daughter of Creative Grids.
But don't stop at one. Have one of each.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. This is
you can't have too many rulers.
Well, Carolyn Forster and I were discussing this earlier. She said, you get the ruler that you start out with. Maybe it's just usually a long straight one, and then you digress and you start to know what it is that takes you fancy, what it is that you fancy doing, and something like this is excellent, really lovely. And once you start to build up that stash. This is one you can go back to and back to. It's not just this square, this star. There are lots of different ones that you can work with and use. And once you've got it in your stash, you'll be amazed at what you can do. Don't throw away the instructions.
No, don't.
So this gives you an idea of some of the others. See, look, Joy, she got a bit overexcited. Brilliant. But it's okay. You realised in time, in the nick of time.
I did.
Yes.
Well, I knew it was there. It was just being heavy-handed.
You just couldn't wait to get in, could you?
Being heavy-handed.
If it's in your basket, please check it out. I don't want anybody to miss out. It is 1 P&P per day. So you might have already bought something. You might have already treated yourself. It's the bank holiday you're allowed.
Absolutely.
Would be, you know, in the last hour, you might have just bagged yourself 8.5 metres of fabric plus a jelly roll.
Plus the quilt-as-you-go from the first hour. And the best press. And
hey, look. There's you know, there's all sorts on today. So it's pick the quilt that's right for you. And that's what I really like about today is we're not just saying this is one quilt, that's all we've got for you. We had, first hour we had Quilt-as-you-go.
Yes.
So if you're a beginner or you fancy giving that, and there we go, there's the details at the bottom of the screen if you want that bundle. And then we had a look at a big, beautiful queen size quilting bundle. And this was the biggie.
The big one.
The big one, which is $149.95, which actually, when you break down the constituent parts,
that's not bad.
Was great value for money. Really great value for money. Again, and now we're all about a masterclass of working out these different kinds of shapes and sizes that we can make our blocks out of. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I love today.
There's the one I've just cut out.
Yeah.
The corners just straightforward.
Just squares.
Just squares, square in the middle. And if you make them in all different sort of colourways like this, you can still put them all together and make a really nice quilt. Ooh, that's it. Don't waft too strongly.
Sorry, I over-wafted. But then you can just start to get an idea, can't you? Of if you're, especially if you're using your Scandi, that classic greys, that cream, that red, that soft red. It's all looking lovely. Look, we're going to get a fabulous overhead shot of this any second now.
Oh, good.
Yes, look at that. Starts to give you an idea of what you could be building up, doesn't it? Yes. Really lovely.
Yeah. So
really
if you just get
lovely.
a nice selection of these fabrics and just chop them up and use them as you want to.
Nice.
But also there's a little bonus with the with this.
There's more.
There's more.
How can there be more? This is brilliant.
We can cut out these little pieces like we've just done.
Yes.
And if you do add 2 fabrics, you can put them together and build up a nice edging.
So this could be your edge to your quilt.
Yes, exactly.
Well, let's add that in then.
Let's add it in. Let's pop him that way around. There we go. We've got a quilt being made before our very eyes.
While we wait, look at that. Oh, yeah.
So again, with this, you put your 2 fabrics together and cut them at the same time, so you've got your mirror images.
Full instructions come with it.
Everything.
And video instructions. If you don't, by the way, if you don't have a QR reader and you know you want to do one of the ones that Joy hasn't explained, then it does also give you the YouTube code to get there, the YouTube address or whatever it is.
Yes.
So that is all on there, so you can. So this is, it's brilliant because not only do you get the piece of kit, you get instructions, and then you get a video reference as well, and you get us.
And us, yes. What more can people want? Yes.
Excellent. Oh, I do like this. So, for your non-slip multi-size twin peaks, £20.95.
Crocodile Dundee ruler.
UPCQ 76. Well, it's called many a thing now.
Well, I hope the call centre know what we've called it. Somebody's going to
have to ring and warn them when they say, "Can I have the Crocodile Dundee shape, please?"
Yes.
Joy, tell us why. There you go. Yeah. Anyone that's seen the movie knows what we're talking about. If you haven't, then you never know. But this is it. It's a funny-looking beast, but rather effective, we've found out today.
Yes.
Look at that. Again, what sets Creative Grids apart, these patented non-slip grips all through, and just the attention to detail. They are a pleasure to use. I certainly know when I'm not using a Creative Grid.
Okay.
I have to really sort of make sure it doesn't slip, and that sometimes can worry me.
Yeah. But no, it doesn't. They don't slip. They're nice.
No, they're fab. They're absolutely fab. These have become, a lot of our designers now have become Creative Grids converts. It's one of those things that once you try it, you don't want to use another one.
No.
It's great. It's absolutely brilliant. So whether you've gone for our Twin Peaks or whether... must stop calling it that. I'm going to get into...
One.
Yeah, 2 peaks.
They won't find it if they Google or go through our website, whatever they need to do.
Yeah. Or you're going for the Dresden plate. Then Dresden plate details down the bottom of the screen. $20.95. They're both $20.95.
Yeah.
Depends which one you want to go for. Lots of you with them in your basket. Remember, you don't actually get it until you check out your basket. People can swoop in and grab it out of your basket. Naughty.
It's like starlings. They keep swooping in and eating the blackbird's food.
Are they? Naughty starlings.
And they're very noisy too.
They are. Yeah.
Very noisy.
I used to live in Cornwall. You used to get is it a murmuration?
Oh.
They all make beautiful aerial displays.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Anyway, talking of beautiful displays, look at these. What else did we make? What was the other?
Do you want the Dresdens back out?
Dresden. Yeah, let's bring on the Dresden. Ooh.
Because you could mix them.
I was just thinking.
Shall I put that one there?
Yeah, you put that one there.
And where are you going to put yours then?
Well, I don't know. See, now I feel like that should go there. Oh, Joy, look at that. That was fun. Look at this. And then maybe that one there.
There we go.
Oh, look at that.
See, you've just designed a quilt.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all it takes.
It's good. I like that. Brilliant. Look at that. It's so clever.
Quite good if you want a more masculine sort of cover for the bed as well.
Yeah, we were saying this. There are so many fabrics that I absolutely love that my husband's like, no.
Yeah.
No. But this is perfect. Yeah. Absolutely perfect. Jim in Greater Manchester, hello to you, says, good morning. Joy, you are a fantastic tutor. Thank you.
Bless her. Thank you, Jill. I'm glad she's enjoying it.
So am I.
Yeah, it's great.
We're nearly at the end of our hour. Can you believe it?
Again? What can we do?
25.95 pence. Do you have a favourite?
Do I have it, fabric or shape?
Oh, either, I don't mind.
Okay, well, I like the stars, but I do like the pointy Dresdens. Mm-hmm. I prefer the pointy Dresden to the scallop one. That's
personal preference,
just
isn't
me.
it?
I like the spiky one. Mm-hmm. And the fabrics, it's really hard. But the one that I think, if I could only take one home, which would make me cry.
Would be sad, yes.
I could cry. I think I would have to take the little stars.
Really?
Because they're really good as blenders and backgrounds, and it's a good base on which to build everything.
One. Actually, that's been incredibly popular. I think they're ahead of you.
Yeah.
I think, you know.
Probably are.
Our viewers know.
So we'll have to cry now. I can't take it home.
Oh, you can get it. The most popular so far, it's been overtaken. It was the grey lace. Most popular is now that lovely sort of gingham check with the heart.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Nice for picnic blankets.
Yes,
and things.
wouldn't it?
Yes.
$4.95. Yes, it would look. A whole set of table things made out. That would be gorgeous. $4.95. Oh, Joy.
What?
This could be a placemat.
It could.
And then you put your plate on your Dresden plate.
That's good. Yes.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah. Actually, I've got some plates with like a nice grey edging round that goes super with that. As it happens.
Frisk you on the way out, yeah. Anyone invited to Joy's house will look out. So your Dresden plate, £20.95, VLCQ32. Now, of course, they come with instructions. You've shown us. But in the earlier hour, if you bought the quilt kit, then you've got a book that has another version of this in there. It's all good. It's all absolutely good. Now, my question to you is, what's the next meal? Because you've already had 2 meals, so you've had 2 breakfasts. Is it a third breakfast or lunch?
No, it'll be lunch.
Joy, thank you so much. We are sadly out of time.
A pleasure.
11sies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
11sies.
3 minutes until 11sies.
Good idea. Good idea.
Thank you so much for watching. We're not done yet. Oh, no. Today is today's Quilter Takeover Day, so we're not done. Joy is, though. We'll let you go. But we've got brand new guest again. Carolyn Forster is with us in just one moment with more gorgeous makes. See you in a moment.
Bye-bye.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts. The Sewing Quarter is a new, inspirational sewing and quilting channel here to help educate our viewers with some of the best designers in the business. We hope to bring you some exciting demonstrations with some of the top industry experts. We're part of the Immediate Media family. Immediate Media is a fast-growing multi-platform company who operate some of the most loved brands across the UK. Our brands range from our first TV shopping channel adventure with Jewellery Maker to several successful magazines such as Simply Sewing, Radio Times, BBC Good Food and many more. We've been working incredibly hard to set up and bring you our new exciting channel, and we hope that we can help inspire you with new ideas and projects.
Join us on Wednesday the 31st of May when we welcome back the lovely Jo Carter, who will be debuting her brand new soft toy. Designed exclusively for Sewing Quarter, Jo will be demonstrating how you can make this amazing robot. The kit includes a 16-page instruction booklet with templates, and you can choose from 4 different colourways, or make them all. So, make sure you join Jo and her brand new robot soft toy at 8 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
Don't forget, shopping with us is easy and simple. You can just contact us at 0800 112 4433 and speak to our UK-based call centre to place an order, or shop online with us at www.sewingquarter.com.
When you spend £10 on your first purchase, you will receive this free sewing kit from the Sewing Quarter worth £14.99.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
Good morning, welcome back. This is our last live hour today. So you've got me, Natasha McCarthy, for this, and a brand new guest, Carolyn Forster. She's come back. Yes, we didn't scare her off after her first hour. Now, today is today's Quilter Takeover Day. This is the magazine. We've got it on a special offer for you today. We're taking £1 off, so if you fancy giving it a go, for £4.99 it's yours, and you get a packet of binding clips as well, which is excellent. That's just coming with it because, you know, it's handy. Now, I've had a good old flick through this because I love it. For me, it's about inspiration. Let me show you what I found. In this copy that you'll be getting, look at that. Isn't that a gorgeous quilt? Absolutely stunning. Now, what I sniffed out quite early on is that is Kaffe facet fabric, easy to spot because it's so beautiful. Look, it's even on the front cover, absolutely gorgeous. So, of course, when you see inspiration like this in a magazine, you've got to make it. So we've given you Kaffe facet, we're not giving you Kaffe facet, you've got to buy it, you know, obviously we're not that generous. But here we go, we've given you options of Kaffe facet, not just 1 or 2, 6 different options for you so that you can get making that quilt. Right, let's start with, I'm going to go straight in with some purple over here. Now, so look at this, this is in your blue. So fat quarters here. Oh, they're still warm from being ironed. Lovely. See, that's how posh we are. We've ironed our fat quarters. Here we are. Oh, look at that. £21.95. That's a fabulous price for Kaffe, isn't it? Look at that. So these are your Kaffe fat quarters in blue. Oh, lovely. £21.95. We had some of his books on yesterday, and some of the makes in there just gorgeous. Now, that's your blue. It's got lots of purple tones through there as well. Now, next is your greens. Here you go. Here are your greens. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Ah, I'm opening this one up. This is always my favourite. It's not called Cabbage Patch, it's called Cabbage Rose, producer Paul. Look at that. It's just exquisite. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. You can see that actually in the quilt. Oh, it's like folding up a map again, isn't it? How do I do that? And that's in there as well. So that's what you're getting in your green pack. Love it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then, oh, hang on. Now, is this the red or the neutral? Ooh, let's see. So, here we go. Look at this. Here we go. This is your red. Look at that. That's your red. Isn't that gorgeous? $21.95 NFRW 42. So vibrant, isn't it? But what I love is that, of course, you know, you can mix and match. You could buy a couple and it would work, because look, if in this one, for example, you've got that green, so you could mix it through with your green bundle. So you can, because you can just pull it through, and that's what the joy of Cafe is. Lovely. So the next one here is, look at the, gonna have to have a little look at this. Look at that. Ooh, that's a bit good, isn't it? Oh, that feels very opulent. Very nice. And that's just one of them. You're getting 5. Gorgeous. Ooh. We'll find out which one that is any second now. Here we go. There we are. We've got 6 different options for you. So always do. Oh, there you go. Which one? That is your neutral. If you've always wanted Cafe in your collection, grab it. Absolutely beautiful. Now, next one up. Here we go. Oh, sort of browns through this. Oh, I've not seen this one. Look at this. Hey. Ooh. Ooh, look at these. They look good, aren't they? Oh, I like this one. Look at that. It's the browns and the pinks there. Beautiful. They just work. Do check out the website so you can choose which one you want, or ring the call centre. It's free to do so, 0800 112 4433. So we've got our neutrals, and then this one here. This one. Is this another neutral one? Look at this. Oh, this has got black in it. This one's really dark. Now, you see, this is it. You can mix and match amongst these, decide which ones you want, and mix and match throughout. Especially as, you know, we've been talking about, you know, having dark bits in the quilt, lighter colours in the quilt, all of that. There we go. We've got that. There we go. So that's your details there. Now, we've also got Carolyn's book. I've got to go over there for that. Come with me. Come and meet the lady herself. Hello. Welcome back. Again. Good job. Thank you very much for coming back. Now, Carolyn, this is your book.
It is my book.
I've had a little flick through this one as well. I like it a lot.
Okay.
What was the idea behind the book?
It was, that it gives you lots of tasters of lots of different things you could try patchwork and quilting wise.
Yes.
And because all the quilts are little quilts, mini quilts, if you like, it meant that it's going to be finished quickly. And often what I found when I do the mini quilts is it then sets the germ of imagination, thinking, oh, what would this look like if it was bigger? What would it look like if I did more of this? So sometimes I'll make the little quilt and then think, oh yeah, actually that would look good bigger. And in fact, in today's Quilter, the one that's out now, the quilt that I've got in there, that's what happened with that one. It's actually got a mini quilt that we made bigger. So.
Excellent. One of my favourites in here. I'm going to make it.
I know what it's going to be.
I'm going to make it. Possibly when I get home tonight.
Yeah,
I love him. Ollie the octopus. So it's fun projects as well. It's not, you know, you might have just made a quilt and gone, do you know what? I need something a bit different.
Yeah.
I just want to do something a little bit jovial.
Yeah.
Ollie the octopus is there for all your needs. Oh yeah, you could use your K facet for your tentacles. But this is that's made out of jelly roll strips, design fabric strips, isn't it?
It's the jelly roll strips. It's all the projects in there, from the little quilts through to all the little fun things, which I must admit I find a real antidote to when I'm doing big quilts a lot, just to make these fun little things. They're just quirky.
Do you know, a lot of guests say that after they've had the sort of the seriousness of a major quilt, they just want something quick, fun, and just a good make. Now, this caught my eye because this is your scrap preserver quilt. I love the idea of this. We all have off-cups we can't bear to throw away. And this is a beautiful idea to use them all. And it's almost a journey of your fabric choices, isn't it, as you add them all through together?
You have. I think with something like that, you've got different quilts that you've worked on, you've got different pieces that you've saved, because I do save, even though you've got yards of stuff in one box, you just need to save the 2.5-inch square in the other pile. So yeah, I keep all those. And
Gosh, you stop at 2.5 inch?
Well,
you know, I'm thinking about the day when I start English paper piecing, and clearly we'll need smaller. But this is it. So the book is fabulous. Now, again, if you got the big quilt bundle that we brought you earlier, you can do things like this as well. All sorts of different ideas. The inspiration is gorgeous. It's all in there. $12.95 for the book. QTSP 15. There is something for everyone in here. All different abilities, all different levels, and it's gorgeous. Now, we're using Kaif today.
We are, and I have actually mixed it with a little bit of the range I used from earlier on.
So with the Tulip Pink, I love this because in the magazine, of course, you get the inspiration to make this massive, great big Kaif quilt.
Yeah.
Beautiful, gorgeous, lovely. You will have fabric left over. You will have those little bits. There's always bits left over, which is why it's important to then have ideas. If it was a fabric that you loved, which it is because you bought it.
Yeah, and you do just in fact, the smallest bit becomes even more precious than when you've got your fat quarter. Fat quarter's great. Oh, fat quarter
feels quite abundant, doesn't it?
But then when you've got down to the last little bit, then yeah, they're like precious. So I think if you can do a little quilt project that really showcases that, so that's what I tried to do with the little quilt.
And that's the premise behind this. So if you bought the quilt from earlier, then you will end up with little offcuts from your Tulip Pink. And if you buy your K facet and make the quilt out of today's quilter, again, you're going to end up with offcuts. What I hadn't bargained on was actually how well those two designers mix and match.
Yeah,
I love how that works.
It was sort of seemed quite natural when we, got the fabrics and the bundles to do that. So yeah, I was really pleased with how it's turned out.
Lovely, really lovely. Where do we start? What do we do?
Where do we start? What do we do? Simple things first. To start with, for the little mini quilt, it only ends up 16 inches square, 16.5 inches square. To start with, for that, we need a solid fabric I use for the centre, which is where the applique is going to go, because we've got a couple of little techniques in this one, and these are 12.5 inches square.
Okay, so, and that's out of our optical white, which we have for you by the ½ metre, and you can grab that as $3.25 per ½ metre of your optical white.
And the next thing is we need some bits. I've got some bits left over from the Tula range, so that was great. And with the calf, all I've done with that is I've actually taken the fat quarters and I've just cut 2.5 inch wide strips from that. So then that's going to...
I can never get over the colours, the vibrancy in the colours. I would never put these together, but when they are, look at them. They just are gorgeous.
I mean, there is just always so much colour in his fabrics, which I think is great, because then it means they do work with so many other things, or they seem to. So that's I think that's great. So all you're going to do for this is the 2.5-inch strips in this case are just to start you off. We're going to need them for the border that goes around the quilt project, and we then use those as our basis for the leaves and the circles for the applique.
So you might have some fabric strips left over that you can use, but there's nothing to stop you. If you've got a fabric you absolutely love and maybe you've got a chunk like this to use, then great, use that. Yeah,
just cut, and if you really like it and you don't want to use it all up at once, just cut one 2.5-inch strip and then you've got the rest for later.
So
but you know, you can sort of eat into it in these little increments. But so we're just going to cut obviously that we still haven't got a thing for me to stand on.
We've got a step for you.
Big step. I think I've got smaller in the interval. Right, so we've done that. We've got our fabric strips. And for the border for the project, we're going to cut... You can basically make the border out of any length of strips that you like. I mean, in here, there's a... Here we go. I was going to need something to refer to. I was going to show those later.
Look.
So this is a variation on where I put the flowers. And we'll see a couple more of these a little bit later on.
If we go round, we've got... oh, hang on. Which way do I need to send it? Here we go. Caif, Tula, Caif, Tula, Caif. Tula, 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 Caif. Oh, look, there's the tiger from the Tula. Caif, Tula. And then you've got Caif in here. Oh,
I mean, you've just got it all.
In there. It's beautiful, but doesn't it work so well?
And also, when you cut some of those really big prints up to tiny, small things here, I mean, that's the strata one, and it's here, and it's in the corner there. But actually, you're looking at different aspects of it, and you see different pieces, so it doesn't look as though it's the identical fabric. They always take on a different character. So the first thing we're going to do for this is we need pieces for the border here. Now on these particular blocks, I've actually cut these all the same size.
Okay.
So they're all 4.5 inches long, because then it means the maths from earlier on.
Yeah.
It's like,
done. Let's not worry about maths.
It means you've got a 12-inch finished square, so you need 3 along here, 3 4s are 12, and then you've got 4 along the side. And it also means that if you wanted to make a bigger quilt with these by putting them together, you can put the blocks together. I'll show you later on by rotating them, and then none of the seams have to match up.
This is in the book?
This isn't, because we kept it small in the book, but there was a quilt in one of the Today's Quilters a while back that I did based on this, completely different colourway, and we talked about it in there. So, and we can mock up later when I show you the different blocks. So.
Oh, I love it. But you know what? This is the thing, isn't it? Do you know what I've just seen in here as well? Just having a quick flick through this book, which incidentally has never been to air until today. So we've got our author on air, but look, you know what Joy was just using? Look what we found in here.
Yeah, it's your sawtooth star.
That's what we've just made off the previous hour.
Yeah, you made a variation of it. Yeah.
Really, really lovely. So we've got, oh look, you see there, then again, so from the previous hour, if you were making the spools, then you've got that in here as well. Lovely. Now, obviously, when you're making a beautiful quilt, then you're going to need beautiful fabrics. So this gives you the inspiration, and then we've given you the K facet material options here. 6 different options. Let's take a look. This here is your red. There they are. Red pack 2. There are 2 different reds, okay? They're all the same price, so you pick which ones you want. Look at that blue. We love the blue. Oh, you've got the blue there. You love the blue too. The blue. The blue, love the blue. $21.95, that's your blue. Most popular so far. Everybody loves the blue.
Oh, I think the blue is sort of a go-to, isn't it?
Go-to blue.
Go-to blue. It's one of, I don't know, nature's neutrals sort of thing.
And now this is red pack. Which one's this? Oh, it's just red. So we've got red and red pack 2. This is just red. It's that strata one on top. It's just so stunning, and all these packs. Whoa! Check that one out. Look at that. Which one's what? What's this? Oh, neutral pack 3. I like the black in there. Sometimes you need that dark, don't you?
Yeah, I must admit, I'm a bit of a black fan, although not many of the quilts that come to public light are, but yeah, I've got a bit of a
There's a dark side to Carolyn Forster. Oh, now this has got some dark in there as well. You know, sometimes you need that dark, don't you?
I think
light,
so,
dark, mid-tones, it's all good.
Oh, sorry, I'd say this one with the little white flower, the little dot and the flower, and earlier on when they were being ironed, we did discuss the fact that would make a pretty good shirt.
Oh, yes, John would love that shirt, could you imagine? And then the greens, yeah, but you see the greens are so pretty too, and there's quite a lot of purple in that greens as well.
It's
I really like.
though, isn't it? Isn't that tranquil?
I think the green and the blue work very nicely together.
Yeah,
they're tones that all work, because you've got a lot of purple in the blue pack. And in the greens, you've got a lot of purple as well. So all sort of, they've got that in common, if you like. $21.95, that is your green. Lots of options to choose from. If you're in any way confused as to which one is which, because I know we've got red pack 2 and red. Either look on the website where they will all be listed and you'll see that fan of colour, so then you'll be able to choose it from there off the website, or give us a call, 0800 112 4433. It is UK based and free to do so.
Or you could just buy 2 red packs.
Well, there's that option.
In doubt, made it simple.
Be rude not to. Yeah, get both. And well, then, yeah.
Anyway, I've cut a 4.5-inch segment. So for here, we're just going to need 3 on this side, 3 on the other, and 4 on either side. And with this, to make the border, you can either plan it all out and lay it out before you start stitching, or if you like, which is what I tend to do.
I'm going to guess you don't. We're getting quite a good insight, aren't we, into the wonderful world of Carolyn here. Nah, happy accent's going to look a treat.
Yeah, well, it's not a happy accident. It's I just tend to chain piece.
Right.
Because sometimes I just need a bit of just keep stitching and not having to worry about it too much. So usually I tend to just stick, there's your tiger one again, 2 together that I quite like the look of, and then just go
and
for
off it goes.
So 1/4-inch seam allowance, just regular straight stitching. You can keep going. And I think Joy was talking about the chain piecing earlier, wasn't she?
Yes.
About just keep poking them through. So you can see, we put these together, little cut-ins together, and...
Now, I know that matching colours together worries a lot of our viewers. We had a guest in earlier on in the week. We had lovely Tilly Rose in, and I will quote her on this, and she doesn't mind. She knows I do. She says, you know, the finished thing should look like a garden. The flowers may not all be the same shade, they may not all be the same colour, but if the visual effect is like a garden, that beauty of all of those different shapes, sizes, colours, textures, she said, then that's what you're going to end up with. Yeah. And this is what this very much reminds me of. You know, it might not be an exact colour match, but the overall effect is undeniably stunning.
And I think sometimes because you've got lots of fabrics and each fabric's got a lot of colours in, there's going to be overlap. So basically it's going to go together anyway.
Yes.
So I think, you know, the more colours you've got, the more...
When you use all the colours, you can't go wrong.
It's all going to go together.
Yeah.
So, and this is what's nice about the calf facet. You know, you've pretty much got all the colours.
Yes.
Most of the time.
Oh, he uses all of them.
Yeah, you don't want to miss anything. Right, so you can snip apart your chain piecing, and then I mainly get them in pairs.
Okay.
And then you can decide if you want to add a third for this end, or if you want to stick 2 together for your long sides. Once you've done that, you can press. It won't matter which way you press these seams. Once you've done that, you can start stitching. I stitch the border on. Now you can see on here, just to start you off, I've put the short borders on first because they're the same length, and then your long borders go on second. You can see that one is just going to sit on there.
Let's play spot the cave, 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 cave.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's all about, well, I say it's all about a cave, but we've got leftovers from our earlier show. This is it. Every time you buy from us, every time you make, you're going to have things left over. Pop it in your stash. This is a stash buster. Instructions in the book. You've got everything you need to get going. £12.95. We've got the author here. Here she is in the flesh, showing us how to do these things. It's lovely. And there are other scrap projects. Well, the whole book is about using up.
Yeah, that particular book, it's all about the scrap, the bits, and we based everything in it on there's a 2.5-inch dimension in there on every single project. So it is ideal for those jelly rolls, or even break into a new jelly roll and
into a new jelly roll. Do you know, the viewers shuddering at the thought of having to unravel that beautiful jelly roll. But you see, this is it. Whether you are using up fat quarters, whether you are using up the last of your jelly rolls, maybe you've done a beautiful quilt like we did earlier, maybe you just need some inspiration, maybe you've just made that beautiful cave quilt that we've got in today's quilter, and you've used these fabrics that we've got on the show for you today, but you just need something. I mean, this is kind of a variation on today's, isn't it?
Yeah, we've done that with an embroidery stitch around the edge, but equally you could bonder web those down and then embroider or machine a plique.
So lots of different ways to use up. Look, the ravioli. I love the lavender ravioli. Yes. You've got so much. I love these, you see. Could you imagine little cave birds?
Yeah.
They'd look gorgeous, wouldn't they? Oh, there's Ollie. Do like Ollie the octopus. So making him later. It's got to be done. Hey, if you got Rick Rack off yesterday's show, you can pull out the Rick Rack. See, I love this too. There's so many options in here, and that's the thing that this book is all about, giving you those options as to what you want to make, how you want to make it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So, we've got our book, we've got our inspiration, $12.95, QTSP 15. If you bought today's quilter, then you will have the inspiration for a cave quilt, which will give you leftovers like this.
Absolutely. So once you've got your leftovers sewn together for the border, basically you now need to make your garden, and that's going to be doing the leaves and making the little round flowers. Nice. So for that, the bits that we have prepared, as one does, it was funny that you were doing the magazine with the little clips, because I use these little clips to keep all the pieces together for the project.
They're great, aren't they?
So that would be a handy thing. So what I've done here is we've got two aspects. One we need the iron for.
So do that.
Iron
Bear with.
to the fore. And while we're ironing, what you need, or what I do, there's loads and loads and loads of different ways to do all the different ways of a plique. And the way that I make the little circles that are going to be the little flower centres, which are here, they sort of look a bit three-dimensional, and it's because they're puffy.
Is it like a Suffolk puff?
It is like a Suffolk puff, but without having to turn the edge under. You don't have to make a hem, because the bit that you're gathering is on the back.
Right.
So you don't end up with like a little hole in the middle. So all you're going to do...
Would that be a 2.5-inch square by any chance?
It would be a 2.5-inch square.
I wonder how we managed to cut that.
Exactly.
Yes.
This is quite a bit free and easy. It's template free in that I just cut a quarter circle.
Okay.
And that's it, basically. So
no one's going to unravel it, are they, to make sure that it was a perfect circle that you started off with?
It's even if probably, I don't know, if you even stitched a square that way, you'd probably still end up with something of a circle.
Now, you see, look, can I just show, before we even stitch this is the joy of your Caif fabric. Look at the vibrancy, just that little itty-bitty tiddly bit. It's beautiful. Love it.
Now we need to stitch it into a circle.
Oh, yeah, sorry, there you go.
Didn't know if you needed more of a moment with that. But,
well, I know, I'm feeling quite emotional about it.
It is. You could, in fact, if you wanted, when you make these, you could fussy cut them so you get something in particular in the middle. I must admit, I like the randomness of the little bits, like you get those little flowers from that Caif one in there. So all you're doing here is you've got a length of thread on your needle. You can start with a knot and a back stitch, because you need to make sure that when you gather this up, it's not going to come undone. So all you're doing is a little running stitch all the way round the edge here, and that is really quick, she says, talking through it.
Well, no, it is, isn't it? I mean, and anybody can do this. You could even get your kids to work doing this, couldn't you?
Like, see what your poor little lad's going to have a life of, so...
I like to
After
think
you've
of it
made
as
him
being
that octopus.
creative. Yeah.
Poor little thing.
Well, do you know, he likes to join in.
They do.
Generally, when I'm trying to make something for a show, he wants to come and sit on my lap and push all the buttons on my sewing machine, because that's helpful. So I have to unplug the foot and then let him do the stop-start button.
Without,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
That's about all that he's allowed to do. Although, I did take my eyes off him for a second the other day, found him in my workroom, sat at my sewing machine. He'd switched it on.
Well,
Press lots of buttons.
Yeah.
Oh no!
It's that
no.
clicking
And he's thinking,
sound
"What
the
are you
machine
doing?"
makes. Yeah,
He said,
good.
I'm working, Mummy.
Well, there you are.
I've created a monster. Nicola in Oxfordshire says, good morning, ladies. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful inspiration. Well, thank you for watching. That's how we can bring all this wonderful inspiration. Oh, another one. Oh, thank you for all your messages. This is lovely. Sonia in West Midlands says, good morning. In the book, are there templates? And if so, are they actual size? She says, love our son. We love our son. She always gets in touch.
Okay.
Yes, templates. Are they actual size? Oh, look, colourful templates.
She says having to study it. I think one or two, because they are bigger, like the dolly, you do need to plan with that and take it to your local photocopy shop and increase the size of that. But otherwise, majority, I think 90%.
Where possible.
Yeah, it's just difficult with the... sometimes if we overlap the templates in the books, then people get confused about the lines.
Yeah.
So I think at different books, you get different judgment decisions made at each time as to what's going to be best to...
Excellent.
She says, I don't know why I'm looking there, because I could look on the screen to see what you showed.
You could.
I was like screwing my head round to see that.
But why when we could get a crick in your neck?
Yeah, why when I could look like
that?
But yeah, generally they're all going to be as far as we can. But things like the doll, and I think the octopus, I think is one that you might have to blow up. But it's just a bit of pre-planning and going to the photocopy beforehand. So sorry.
There you go, Alison. So in the main, yes, there's the odd occasional one. But do you know what? Worth it. Absolutely worth a little bit of planning.
But it is. In the meantime, I've pulled all my threads up.
Yes.
So we've got basically what you would recognise as your Suffolk puff, but with a frayed edge.
I always like to think of this as a shower cap as well.
It is like a little shower cap, isn't it? And on the front, there's no seams, there's no...
This is the joy of it, isn't it?
You've got your little...
So that's the front, and then on the back, pretty. But actually, we're going that way.
Yeah, I just wanted it plain and flat without having to cut out any circles properly and do anything fussy. So all I do then, just to keep it in place, is if you just do a couple of over-sewing stitches.
Yeah.
Just really tight, gathered in a bit there, and you can snip your thread off.
Now, I'm going to show you in a minute. We're going to go over and have a look at all of the CAFE options because you are absolutely loving the CAFE. So I'm going to be back in a second.
Okay.
Wait there. Don't go anywhere. Here we go. Let's have a look at this. So here's your red. So the graphics here that we've got on the screen at the moment is for your red 2. This is red 2. Let me show you what that entails. This and this and your polka dots and that one, which we also think would make a lovely shirt for John. And yeah, look at that. Beautiful, gorgeous fabrics. Don't miss out. You are going absolutely crazy for CAFE, as you generally do. So there you go. That is red, but that is pack 2. We've got another one which is just red. That is red pack 2. Now, most popular is the blue. Always is. Always is. Look at these. Gorgeous, gorgeous designs. Now, you see, this is the one that we just made a little puff out of. 5 different designs in each of these packs. They will work together beautifully. Woohoo! Now, if you've got some, look at that. If you've got some of the CAFE books that we had the other day, let me spin that around that way, actually. It looks gorgeous that way too. If you've got some of the CAFE books that we had the other day, you'll have even more inspiration for these. His books are rather gorgeous too. So it just, yeah, works, doesn't it? Just works. It's the most popular one so far, and actually this one, if you got any of the tulip pink from earlier, this one works so beautifully with those, as we're seeing. You know, you've got all the colours in there, so it's going to work in with your stash. Gorgeous. Now this is red, just normal red. That was red too. This is red. And you've got your strata, which is this one. Do you want to see this in all its glory? I never actually knew the name of this, but it's like the rock formations, isn't it? Lovely. Oh, it's called a geode, apparently, says producer Paul. You've been on Google again. You did what, sorry? Oh, we worked in jewellery for 8 years, so he knows. Geode. Great. There we go. And you got... do you want to see this one out as well? Yeah, why not, as we're here? Let's do it. So we've just seen this one in the blue, but look at it in the red. Completely different feel. How warm and exotic does that feel? Look at that. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. $21.95. Price is the same. Colours so different. Next one along, we're going with neutral. Here we go. That's that. Neutral here. Now you see, look, I mean, this is, you see, you could just get them all, and then when, she says extravagantly, just get the lot. But look, you see, look at the difference in that one. That looks like something out of one of the David Attenborough shows, doesn't it, when they go underwater down to the depths, and then they put on the special lights where they can see all the different flowers at the bottom of the ocean. It's very clever. There we go. In my mind, that's what that is. Like night vision. Another option for you. Oh, hang on, I've got to show this one as well, because this one's a bit stunning. You know, we had the Kaif Moroccan book on the other day, and I bet you he uses that in there. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It's a different look, but it is undeniably Kaif or Kaf. I don't know which was the one. We never know, so we'll say both, and then we're never wrong. Now, that is your new... Oh, okay, next one is another neutral one. It's a slightly lighter neutral one. This is neutral 2. Oh, and this is the one, isn't it, that we think would make a lovely shirt for John. We might need more than a fat quarter, though, so it'll be a bit skimpy. There you go. But that would be stunning. If you're fussy cutting, of course, you've got lots of beautiful designs to fussy cut. Lovely. It's all, you see, this is, I've said this from day one, and producer Paul's just said the same. He said he loves the nature inspiration behind all of these. 'Cause I remember saying very early on that, like this one, well, in fact, I'll show it to you in the green. This one here, I did biology A level, so we're always having to look at slides in a microscope. And it just reminds me of some of the slides once you put the dye in. Absolutely gorgeous. But you know that dark one that I just showed you, it's that version. But absolutely beautiful. And then another one, oh, this has got your cabbage rose in as well in the green. Look at that. There you go. Yeah. Love it. Oh, there's so much in here. It's all gorgeous. Doesn't matter which one you get, you're going to absolutely love it. $21.95. The price is the same. This is what we're making today. Now, this is just using snippets and scraps out of it. If you're getting today's quilter, because of course today is today's quilter takeover day, then let me just show you straight on the front. What do we see? First of all, straight on the front of the magazine is Kaif quilt.
The more you keep saying it the different ways, the more I've completely forgotten how you meant to say it.
Who knows? But look, I mean, that's the inspiration. So when you get your fat quarters, make something like that, and then with your scraps of everything, isn't that beautiful? Do you want to see that in big? Hang on, let me show you that in big, just very quickly. That's it in book, with all the inspiration, all the directions and everything. That's what you're getting when you get in the magazine, you see. You get that. Lovely. And some apples. Nice and fresh. But then you see, when you've got your scraps, you then need Carolyn's book to put them to good use. Have Kaif, love Kaif, want to use every little itty-bitty scrap of it, you need the book. Brand new today, £12.95. QTSP 15. And from the book, we're making, well, we're using up all our scraps.
We are. We're doing the bordered
We're part way
garden
through.
quilt.
What's it called?
Bordered garden. I'm not very good at the names of things, so I go with the most sort of logical. Got a border, got a garden.
I figure if you made it, you can call it what you want.
Absolutely. Within reason.
Maybe I should write a book and then I would never forget the name.
And then you call them all exactly what you want. Now, so far we've made little circles for the flowers.
Yes.
So we can pop those in there. And we made those from a 2.5-inch square of fabric. And then from our strip here, I've used the, I now have to call it the geode one, don't I? Because it's not strata.
Wow, I don't know. Yeah, that's producer Paul. He's...
Well, if you know your stuff, you know your stuff. So with this one, I've used freezer paper for the little leaves. So I've used the template in the book, and we've cut out, I just cut out quite a lot of leaves. Ironically, although you're ironing the shiny side of the freezer paper, you can see it's sort of glossy there, onto the back of the fabric, and you think it's stuck. Well, it is stuck until you take it out, and when you take them out later on, this one looks a bit mangy because you can see the needle marks through it, but you can use those again.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I will use it a couple of times, so it's not a one-off thing. Yeah. You can repeat use those, so that's quite sort of, you don't have to cut thousands because, you know, you can always cut out, you know, use some more.
Unless you want to.
Unless you want to cut thousands. So all we're going to do now is cut this out, adding the seam allowance.
So this is basically English paper piecing?
It's, in fact, you could do English paper piecing. I think those are a bit small. You know, you can cut your shapes out for that and stick them on. It saves you pinning them then.
Well, then we've got the glue, because if you can't, because sometimes freezer paper is really hard to get hold of. I think we've sold out of it, but if you, so if you need to, then just use normal paper, and we've got the glue pens, which are great. It's perfect. It's exactly what these are for.
You just do a dab along the back.
Yeah.
And then, so you can see there, you can cut those out, and if you turn those over to the front, you can see you've got different things going on in that with the fabric, which is always nice of those big prints.
What are we having to call this? Geodes?
Well, I don't know. You said it.
What was it,
from
producer
above.
Paul? It is a geode. He's like, oh, you want to know now, do you? Oh, yeah, we want to know. Every day's a learning day.
We want to get it right, don't we? So, right, with our...
What is a geode? But it's where crystals are formed, apparently.
Okay, nearly a step too far.
Yeah.
What we're going to do, I'm so mean because I have no idea. What we're doing now is, this is the method I use. I've tried lots of different applique methods, and still this is the one that I always come back to. So all we're going to do now is just, you can go around with a piece of waste thread or tacking thread and turn the seam allowance over to the wrong side.
Okay.
So you're just going to work round. You can see the curve's really generous, so you don't need to do any snipping or anything fancy like that. It just all sits where it's meant to sit. As you get all the way round there, you're basically going to end up with a shape like this. So this is the sort of thing, it's strange when you're doing it in this situation because like everyone's watching you do it, and it seems really stressful. But when I do this at home, I just iron loads, cut loads out, and then when you're watching the TV or waiting for kids at school runs and stuff, you've just got a whole sack full, and you just sit.
So if we open up the armrest in your car, is it just all this paper piecings just going to come springing out?
Sackfuls of anything I could take with me. So there you go.
But that's the thing, kids are never on time, so it's always good. I mean, the number of hours wasted sitting in cars waiting for children to finish various clubs, sports, everything else.
Yours is still only little.
I know,
your life is young.
So I do stitch in the car, you know, because I leave to get him, and I always leave enough time because obviously the motorway traffic, blah blah blah. And so invariably I have sort of 10 minutes to sit and do something, and it's nice. There's always something, something to stitch.
Absolutely.
Marie says, "What a great new guest. The book could be my first buy," says Marie in Cornwall. Hello, Marie. Here's the thing: if you buy the book, it's what, £12.95?
Yeah.
Details down the bottom of the screen there. Marie, then you will get this. If it's your first purchase, you'll also get the sewing quarter, little sewing kit. Have you seen this?
No, what's in that?
It's awesome. Pop it in your car, and then you've got everything that you need to get going.
Oh,
it's worth $14.99, and we give it to any new buyer
Okay, so when Marie orders her book...
As long as it's over £10, not including your P&P, so the book would qualify.
Excellent.
You get that as well. Double bubble. Nice. So go for it, Marie. You've run out of excuses not to.
Poor girl. Right, what we've got here now is I've basically positioned the leaves and I've just popped that flower on.
When do you take your paper out?
After, I'm going to stitch all the way round here and leave a gap.
Oh.
So we're okay with the circle because it doesn't have a gap to leave. We're fine, there's nothing behind it. So what I'm going to do in a moment, this is obviously going to be real in a moment stuff because I haven't stitched round another one. You can stitch round, and basically I just use a neutral coloured thread for the hand applique. And what you're doing is you're just catching the fold of the fabric. You're not actually stitching through the paper. It won't matter if you do, because I have done that before. It just means a bit more of a tug when you try and pull it out. But you're just stitching through the fold of the thread. So the main part of your sewing stitch isn't on the front, it's actually on the back.
Okay.
So you can sort of get away with just a neutral thread. You don't have to always be thread specific for your applique.
Grey is one of those great colours that just disappears.
It's because it's a shadow. Anything that's a shadowy colour is going to...
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, if you think of, say, a tree in the landscape and the sun, if you look at the shadow between, say, the ground and the tree, it's the shadow colour that you always want. And often that's like a real horrible, boring colour to buy, but it's the one that's always going to be the most useful. So anything with a grey tone in, generally.
And then I'm thinking then possibly grey or even just a bluey tone also, because as you look at things, as they get more distant, you get that bluing effect, don't you?
Yeah, you can I think probably one of the threads I use the most is some sort of like a sludgy grey green.
Sell it to us, that sounds amazing.
Like, yeah, if I could use the word sludge anymore, you know, it was my most eloquent.
Sludgy, bluey, grey green, this sounds delicious.
Yeah, you just want like sludge.
To be on the naming committee. Gutterman, if you're listening, she's got a great shade for you. Sort of my top colour.
Well, that's sort of more of a taupe, isn't it? We have to, you know, but just
Mixed
with me,
with sludge.
With thread generally, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a sludgy colour, that'll work, that'll go great. So as we're working around, I'll take these pins out and...
oh, we've got a stock warning. What's our stock warning
I don't know, probably the sludge thread.
The blue K facet. No sludge in sight there.
But you could use your sludge thread to sew it together, because that will work.
Of course. And if everybody checks out their basket, then the blue's gone. So please do check out your basket. Make sure that you're getting... That's it. And we've been using this one today. It's beautiful.
It's cool. So what I've done now is I've appliqued all the way round to about ½ inch. I reckon about 3/4 of a centimetre, and you can see on the back where the stitches are there. If I take that last pin, and I've realised that that's the pin cushion that's also in the book.
Oh, let's have a look at that.
Which scarily's got some bit of blue cafe in it.
Oh, yes.
So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take the tacking stitches out, so you can just pull those out, which these scissors seem to be quite handy for that. That's a good thing. And then you've still got your piece of paper in there, and if you just poke, I was going to say these scissors.
Yeah, well, if they're working, why not?
If they're, you don't want anything too sharp and pointy, and these have got a slightly dead end, so it means that they're not going to poke through your fabric. So just take the end of the scissors, it's going to poke through, it's going to peel the paper away, and then you can see, there's the paper, if you just tug.
And out it comes.
You could use that again.
Yes.
That inclination. Now, the other thing I will say, if you get carried away with your applique and you go all the way round and finish your thread off and think, oh no,
it's me,
you know, all been there. What you need to do then is, and it's of no detriment to your work whatsoever, is you just turn it over and you can see the outline of where you've stitched. So if you cut away the fabric on the back, just ½ inch, you can get your paper out the back that way.
Oh, nice.
So it won't matter if you forget.
I've got another stop warning. Gosh, gosh, what's going on? The blue one, the green one. So the blue and the green one, if everybody checks out the blue or the green, either or, then they've gone. Okay, it is not guaranteed until you check out your basket. Okay, so $21.95, AVRW71. Oh, now we're at that situation where we've got more in the basket than we have available. There are going to be tears before midday at this rate.
Scary.
Busy, busy. So please make sure that you check out those baskets. Make sure that you're not disappointed. You'll only be disappointed if you don't get it.
Yeah.
You certainly won't be disappointed if you get it.
Oh, so if we show them how to finish off the applique
Yes.
and the other options for laying out their flowers, that might push them over the edge.
Oh, yes.
Into the abyss of cat.
Yes.
Once you've stitched all the way round, this is the way I would finish this off. I take the thread through to the back and just on the edge where that seam allowance is, I just do a couple of oversewing stitches and then that's it. So
I've just remembered the little rhyme that I had to remember how to say K-facet. It rhymes with great asset.
there you go.
There you go.
So it's K-facet then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
I think I found that on Wikipedia.
Poor chap.
Imagine that was on your Wikipedia page. K-facet,
It was
great
useful
asset.
for you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With these, obviously you're going to continue round, and then the stems on these, that's quite a fine stitch on these particular ones. So I've used an embroidery thread for that.
Which we've got on the show.
Which I think you have got some packets over there.
Yes, we have. We'll have a look later.
So it is just embroidery thread, and you can do whichever stitch you're happy with. For these ones, I've done stem stitch. For the actual one that was quilted that's just outside there, we've done chain stitch. So it's whatever whatever stitch you're comfortable with for that. But I've just used embroidery thread.
Now look, this is it. This is the one. This is where the inspiration came from. Here we go. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Just gorgeous. Shall we play Spot the Cave? It's my new favourite game. Okay, so cave, chula, cave, chula, cave, chula, cave, chula, cave. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, for me, it's those big prints because we've got that print here, but that's the same as that print.
Yeah, look at the difference.
You know, you don't really notice. I don't know. They just look different.
These
so
are
so
the
versatile.
same. So it depends on which snippet you just happen to get at the time. Love it. So the fabrics that we've used here, obviously. Heavily Kaif, but also we had on our 9 o'clock show, we had the beautiful quilt bundle, which had Tula Pink in it, and that's the other bits that we've used in here. This is about using up your scraps because you've bought these beautiful fabrics. You don't ever want to waste even a tiny bit. So this gives you great inspiration, and it's coming out of the book that Carolyn written about using up your scraps in the most effective, pretty, beautiful way, and I think we can all agree, absolutely stunning. I mean, I'm starting to see how this would take place as a huge quilt. How gorgeous would that be?
There we go. So if I just give you a couple more bits, then you can have a bit of a play. So with the way that the border goes on, we've got those short sides and those long sides. So if we pretend this hadn't got the binding, if you look at this, if you put a long side next to a short side, it means you don't have to worry about matching up any seams.
Oh, clever.
Because if I did it this way, I have to make sure make sure my seams match up, but it just gets rid of that little bit of a worry or headache.
I know, I like the way you think.
Right, here we go. We've got a couple of other, these just show you options of how you can put the flowers on. And also, as you say, it just shows you if you made lots and you could do them.
Now look at that.
So it just gives you a little bit.
And this is using 2 different designers. This is using K-Facet. This is using what you will have left over from your Tula Pink from the earlier show. Look how they just mix, match and merge. It is stunning. Absolutely stunning. There is something to be said for never throwing away a scrap, and this is it. This effect. And this is just using two different types. But imagine when you've got all your different K, this could be entirely out of K scraps.
Yeah,
and then you'd have a
absolutely, yeah.
second cave quilt because you'd have made your main quilt out of your main fat quarters, and then a second. So it's making it go that extra mile, isn't it? You know, you've bought these fabrics because you love them. Now let's really make them work hard for us, and this does the job. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Pleased you like it.
No, absolutely thrilled. Thank you.
No, it is. It's just versatile. With the big prints, I always find, and with the rich prints, you've always got the colours that then all work together, and you've always got different snippets of things. Even with these little, like, nearly print-on-print type ones, you've still got different little snippets that come up. This is from the Tula range.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just think, you know, you're not going to waste anything with them, with the design ranges like that.
Beautiful. Carolyn, this has been your first time with us. Thank you so much. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, you did say when you arrived this morning, a little bit nervous at sort of 7 o'clock in the morning, you did say, well, when I've done it, I don't ever have to do it again. I can tick that off. It's done.
I did
Will
say
you come back?
I wouldn't think you'd have me after this.
We'd love to have you back.
Yeah, it's been good fun, I will say that. Yeah, you do make it good fun.
I'm going to take that as a yes.
I appreciate.
We all heard. That was a yes, right? That was a yes. Thank you so much. I'm going to go and have a look at all of the fabrics over there. But, of course, you need to grab Carolyn's book so that you can be making beautiful things like this. And it's value for money, isn't it? Because then you've made the most of every single piece of fabric that you've ever had. So $12.95, QTSP 15 to get Carolyn's book. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going over here. Right. Okay, so, fabric. Let's have a look. Here we go. So this is your red pack 2, okay? 5 fat quarters in here, all gorgeous. And they just work a trick. Should we open this one? We haven't seen this one opened, have we? Ooh, lovely. But you see, this is, you know what Carolyn was just saying about how when you have such a large print like that actually when you get the little scraps, it's going to feel so different. Each little scrap that you use is going to give you a completely different look. It's going to look like you've had an extensive caif range. It's lovely, isn't it? So that's your red pack 2. Next is the blue. If everybody checks out their basket, then it's gone. But we're going to just double check that it hasn't already. Oh, there's one left. So whoever checks out their basket next, it's gone on the blue. Well done. Well, I'm going to actually just move that out of the way then and say that there are no tears. Right. Next is your red, just red. So that was red pack 2. This is just red. So what do we call it? Geode is in the red. So if you see geode, you're getting the red, not the red pack 2. Got your florals in there. They're just lovely. Look at this. All inspired by nature. So $21.95 there. BYRW 76. So add that into your order. Maybe you want to get both of the red. Oh, we can still guarantee this one if you've got this one in your basket. So that's okay. You can grab that. Now, the neutrals. Ooh. And now in the neutrals, you have such wonderful ones as this. I love it. And this. So you've got the darks in this. You've got your real darks in this neutral pack. Oh, look at them. Gorgeous. $21.95. Love it. I haven't seen this one. I'm really thrilled to see this one. So that is your neutrals. You've also got your browns in there as well. Now, this is the lighter neutral bundle next that we're going to. Keep moving that magazine around the place. There you go. With John's shirt. You could make him a massive patchwork shirt out of this. It would be amazing. Actually, we haven't looked at any of the ziggity-zaggedy ones, have we, in all their glory? Look at that. That's got some warmth to it, hasn't it? Look at that. Beautiful. $21.95. This is neutral pack 2. So if you're going for the neutrals, neutral just by itself has got the blacks. Neutral pack 2 has got all these lovely browns in. And then the last one is One left to grab your green. There we go, there's your greens. If you're going for the greens, please check out your basket now because we've only got one left of that. Now, Carolyn, right at the end, mentioned the thread. So if you want to hand sew on your stems, then let's give you Parlour. This Parlour gives you 2 different greens in this particular embroidery pack. Now, this is from Sublime Stitching. Now, this is, we've matched these in with the Cafe ones, but look at that. Sublime, because I don't know if you can see through the plastic, they have the most incredible sheen on them and luster. These are absolutely gorgeous. These are your tippity tip-top ones, $7.95 for that. Let's have a look at Portrait. Actually, do you know what? This is perfect for all those skin tones and things like that. $7.95 again, but you've got that lovely one in there. $7.95 HN70. They've all got their own and individually named as well. It says here lip gloss and smoky eyes, cosmetic colours just for you, just from me, love Jenny. And then this one is, this one is your Mingles. So this one mixes 2 different colours twisted on the thread. Like that one a lot. Actually, that would work really well with the project that we've just seen because it's adding an even more colour. Oh yes, $7.95 for your Mingles. OLHN12. Oh my goodness. Now, tomorrow, John's up tomorrow. I'm having a few days off because it's half term. I've got to be with Captain Small for a bit. Crafty Bank Holiday. John's here with John's Fabric Finds at 8 o'clock. Organise your bedroom with John at 9 o'clock. And then 10 o'clock, we've got our Rustic Fabric Fiesta. And then you're sewing 3D letters at 11 a.m. That is your Crafty Bank Holiday Monday. That'll be with John. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you for your messages and thank you as well to both of our guests. They've both been brilliant. I will see you very soon. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.
Join us on Wednesday the 31st of May when we welcome back the lovely Jo Carter, who will be debuting her brand new soft toy. Designed exclusively for Sewing Quarter, Jo will be demonstrating how you can make this amazing robot. The kit includes a 16-page instruction booklet with templates, and you can choose from 4 different colourways, or make them all. So, make sure you join Jo and her brand new robot soft toy at 8 a.m, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.